Building community, overcoming setbacks, and the power of fitness. A conversation with Jatin and Isaac.
All right, Isaac.
Yeah.
This is
What's
episode
good,
3
Jatin?
with Isaac. Yeah, dude, Isaac is a core member of Crusader. He's the one who helped it get it up and running, everything.
The
Background
backend, the
superhero.
background, whatever at the back. I'm helping Romy with his stuff.
We don't want to bring up the back
Okay.
end.
I've been helping Romy with his. I mainly help him with the content side of things, specifically at YouTube. And now I've transitioned more. He always says Swiss Army knife. So whatever he kind of needs help with, maybe this part of Crusader needs some attention or needs somebody to take the initiative, and I'll come in there and do what I need to do. Appreciate you having me, man. This is not something that I do usually, and I'm normally super introverted, and it's really nerve wracking for me. But I told myself I decided to come in here, see what my authentic self truly kind of feels like when I'm having a really long conversation with someone. As I haven't had that in a while, man, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, those are rare. You got to cherish the
Yeah.
moments we get, and thanks for
You
coming on.
guys should have the
I
past
know you were nervous before
20
this.
minutes or 15 minutes with some technical issues.
Yeah, but it happens. It happens. But yeah, dude, give us a background. Where are you from? I know you're from Singapore, but is there more kind of where did you grow up?
Okay.
Kind of a thing?
Okay, yeah, this is quite a interesting thing, I guess. But I was born in Malaysia actually. But the thing is, I was only
Jeez.
there for my first 4 years of my life, and my grandma took care of me because my parents had to go to Singapore to work because it's a lot easier. Like the pay is better, the working environment is a lot better in Singapore because during their time it was like a mass developing country, so there was a lot of job offers. There's a lot of opportunities for people to find jobs and treat them well, give them like good pay. Just for first 4 years of my life, my grandmother took care of me in Malaysia, and then afterwards I've just been in Singapore for until now, man, for as long as I can remember. Yeah, it's quite
It's all right. It's just like you went through schooling, and then what did you do
okay.
after school?
School, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what'd you get into?
I know our schooling system is different here in Singapore and in US, but my
Yeah.
primary school. So when I was
Because it goes till 10th,
no,
right?
uh,
It goes till 10th.
so okay, I was in like primary, secondary, then we have like junior college slash polytechnic, and then university. So
Yeah.
growing up, okay, I was always a smart kid. I was objectively a smart kid to the point where teachers would always ask me to come to the whiteboard, do the math answers, tell everyone how to do it, write it down on the whiteboard. So
Yeah.
I've always had high expectations for myself, academically at least, right? And for some reason, that carried all the way through when I was like 15, 16 years old. So we have this thing called the O levels.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have A levels, right? A levels
Okay.
like the
I don't even know what the levels are, man. You got to
oh
explain
yeah,
them.
O
What do you
levels
mean
is
O
like the
levels?
secondary school passing exam. So if you pass that, that's one of the most important ones because that dictates if you go to a junior college or a polytechnic. And the main difference between junior college and polytechnic is JC. Okay, JC is where it is like a school curriculum. It's literally a version of our primary and secondary school, but a lot more advanced. And the rate of intake to university from JC is a lot higher than polytechnic. Polytechnic is more like I went
What
to
age are you
polytechnic.
when you're taking these exams?
Sorry?
No, but what age are
16.
you in? Like when you take the
16.
O exam, what age are you in usually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's like 10th grade for us.
Yeah. Could
Around
you
10th
explain a
grade
little bit more on
in the
the
US system. I know, dude, Europe also has a
could
different.
you explain more on your schooling
Yeah.
system?
US is like you just start. So for me, I came here when I was in 2nd grade. And apparently people have there's like a preschool, kindergarten,
Yeah.
then you go first,
Yeah.
2nd, 3rd, all the way to 12. And when you go at 12, pretty much 2 years before, right around 16, you take
Yeah.
like the SATs. And the SATs are the standardized exam that's out of 1600. and you basically have a ranking there, and along with your grades and your I think
Okay.
cover letter, not cover letter, your school
Yeah,
college
yeah.
essays. You have to write an essay and be like, why I want to go to the college, what am I about, why should you take me? And so then you get into the college, and that college is usually 4 year. Some people will decide to do 2 year community
Mhm,
college, they get an associate's. And then if you get a four year, you
mhm,
get like a
mhm.
bachelor's degree. And I know in Europe they call 4 year
Yeah.
colleges universities and 2 year
Okay.
colleges colleges. But here I just call them colleges either way. I don't know if
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I say college.
What's
Everyone
the
says college.
college?
I went to a
College
4 year, you go
is
to
what, from
4 year.
18 to
Yeah.
20, I assume.
Yeah. For 18 to 22.
Okay.
So it's 4 years. 18 to 22 is usually. And then there's smart asses that graduate in 2, 3
Yeah.
years because they do all of their
Okay, I
community
see.
college and stuff like that. There's ways
Okay.
around it where you can
So
graduate
so
earlier.
college is
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. But
equivalent of
that's the
university
yeah.
in Singapore. Yeah, at least we established that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. So you got to now explain it. So so you said
Yeah,
tertiary,
so primary,
secondary
it's
or something?
primary, so
Primary,
that's
secondary.
7 to 13. Yep, 7 to 13, and then
All right. That's
elementary.
we say elementary school. For us, it's
Okay, okay.
elementary school. Yeah. Then it's middle
Oh,
school.
okay, okay. Yeah, so
I think the
middle school
second
is
thing.
my
Yeah.
secondary school. So that's around 13 to 16, 17. 13 to 16. Yep. So yeah, until then, until
Oh.
my middle school, okay, I'll say in US terms, so it's a lot easier for people to understand.
No,
Okay.
no. Stick with Singapore. Stick with Singapore, bro. That's your authentic self.
Okay.
Whatever you feel
No, I
authentic.
usually say, okay,
We're not
fair
catering to
enough.
anyone out
Yeah,
here.
so my secondary
Yeah.
school, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I always was the smart guy. Always was like even my parents, they were comfortable with me letting me do my own things. Because I studied,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I studied hard, but I was passionate about, especially maths. I was passionate about quite a lot
Yeah.
of topics, but the last 2 years of my secondary school, it dropped. It really, really dropped, and along with that, it kind of broke my beliefs. I'm flipping a switch. Like a lot of people, when they say break beliefs, they break bad limiting beliefs, right? And then they become this new person. For me, it's like I was always on top academically. I always knew what I was doing. I was confident in my papers. But for my last 2 years in secondary school, I was just goofing around too much with my friends, and I had my phone also. I think that was when my parents
Oh.
gave me my first ever phone around that age, and it
Yeah.
just distracted me so much. It consumed a lot of my time. And it just dropped, man. Like went downhill from there. I became one of the worst students in class. Right? From being at the top. Like it really, really
Jeez.
changed and affected me.
How did it feel for you though? Like how did it feel to first of all be on the top? I feel like you had a lot
Yeah.
of expectations on you because your parents were like, "Yeah, my
Yeah,
son, he's
yeah.
gonna go into high places." I'm sure they were bragging like the
Yeah,
classic Asian thing
exactly.
of
When I was at the top, it felt natural to me because I was actually passionate. I wasn't the type that studies 12, 14 hours a day. I wasn't that intense. I was just super passionate about things, about topics in general,
yeah,
and that kind of brought me to the top in a sense. I would give that credit, okay, that personality or that side of me. But yeah, it felt
yeah,
very natural to me. So when I dropped right throughout that 2 years, it was a really slow burn. And I guess I didn't catch myself dropping that hard until it was too late.
yeah. What did you think initially when you first got your low score? What went through your mind? Were you like, "Oh, this is
Yeah, exactly. So
temporary.
yeah, I'll get
I'll get
back.
back."
Okay, I say that I'll get back and I'll study a little bit harder the next time.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
just never I could never reach that top again, like that feeling of being so confident in my papers that nothing scares me. I'll go in there, I'll probably do it in 20, 30 minutes. I can't get that feeling of confidence
yeah,
anymore. And there's a lot of distractions,
yeah,
and how I guess how it affected me personally was the like our exams. We have a period of like 2 weeks where it's just pure examinations because we have a lot of different topics or a lot of subjects, right? So that was the
yeah,
big factor in my life in a sense that like I'm not that guy anymore. I have really dropped I've really been consumed by a lot of distractions, and to be honest, that kind of carried on all the way up to after my polytechnic. Okay, and yeah, to
Oh,
backtrack a bit.
geez, yeah.
For the examinations, I was supposed to go to junior college, like JC. That had always been my bare minimum. I really assume I'm gonna go there already because it's what all the academically better students go. So I would never in my mind, in my life, imagine I will go to polytechnic. So when the exams
Oh,
results came out and I saw that with my score I couldn't even go to the worst JC. It really kind of
oh,
it's
geez.
like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, like I don't know what to tell my parents when I got the results because my parents weren't there when on the results day, and I saw the paper. I'm shit. People are coming around asking, "Yo, what do you get for your
yeah,
score? Are you gonna go? Which JC are you gonna go?" They are asking all these questions to me, and it's in a sense that I had to. I wouldn't say lie, but I was avoiding the question a lot. I was really not trying to talk to anyone. No, I want to go home after I get my papers, and the most important part was I
yeah,
don't know what to tell my parents that I couldn't even go JC. It's so you don't understand how
yeah.
I don't know how to express this enough, but that is a really, really big disappointment in
Like, what were your parents' expectations of you
JC.
up until that point? Like, I'm sure they see you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just JC. They during the decline, okay, to be fair, I don't really tell my parents about that. Okay. I know obviously we have
Oh, so for
sorry.
2 years. Yeah. It was for 2 years, though. For the entire 2 years, you were
Yeah, it
keeping on the
was
low.
I always tell them I'll do better next time. I didn't study that much for this. Next time I'll study. Like I gave them excuses
Yeah,
for them to believe in because they know I was smart. Okay, they
yeah,
experienced that before from me. That I know how to turn on the gear if I need to for my studies. But I don't know, I
yeah.
really didn't, or somehow or rather, the topic, especially for example, history was something that I always struggled with. Even though I somewhat had a passion, but I guess the keyword is somewhat. I wasn't fully committed.
Yeah.
I was studying the topics that I liked, but when it comes to the subject, you have to know a lot of things under the umbrella, right? For the exams.
Like the
Yeah.
details, you have to memorize it
So
pretty much.
so I only
Yeah,
those I'm writing down notes for the sake of writing down notes. Alright, I'm literally whatever I see, I just write
yeah,
down and I subconsciously I think, oh, I've studied already. I don't need extra work here. I've put in my efforts already. But obviously in reality,
yeah.
I'm writing down stuff without actually processing what's going on and visualizing the history. But yeah, it slow decline, slow burn. I didn't know what to tell my parents. So when I told them my results, they were disappointed. You can tell they were kind of shocked. They're kind of disappointed, right?
Jeez, dude.
Damn, you can't even go JC. Right? Because I had to
Yeah,
tell them, oh, I had to go to poly instead. I want to go into this engineering. It's gonna be good. I'm trying to appease. Is it appease? Is it? Yeah, I'm trying to appease them. You know,
yeah,
this
yeah,
this engineering
yeah, yeah.
what is it? Diploma. Yes, this engineering diploma is good. I can find jobs in the future. Don't worry about me. But deep down, I was super
Yeah,
like torn. I was actually super torn about it, and yeah, my expectations of always being here, going to JC, and then obviously that to uni, it just shattered, man. It really just shattered for me. And the problem is I didn't even lock in after that. After I went to poly, I knew I was not that guy
yeah,
anymore. And for some reason I continued to
yeah,
wing my tests. I didn't put in much effort. And that led to something else, okay. So after JC, it's the polytechnic period. I don't know if you guys know polytechnic. It's a diploma course. So it's a 3 years diploma course. Okay. And I
yeah.
took aerospace engineering. So it sounds very cool, right? It
Oh
sounds
shit.
super
Okay.
cool. But the problem is it's not hands-on enough. It really is so much theory, and when I say theory, it's common theory. It's not like
Yeah.
a specific aircraft theory. Also, my first, I would say 1.5 years, 2 years, we were learning a lot of basic triple E, like some physics, some basic maths and statistics. There wasn't much hands-on on the aircrafts. There wasn't much theory specifically for the aircrafts. Okay, so I felt that the 2 years, first of all, it's kind of wasted because I know all this theory stuff. I just need to learn something specific. I know I can go from there. The first 2 years, it's quite easy because all the common topics, common physics, common maths is super easy, to be honest. I already have the foundations for math specifically.
Yeah.
There was no pressure on me. Okay. I was doing rather decent, to be fair, on poly because generally it's easier to
Yeah.
to wing the test. I got 3.6 around there. For 3 years where I
Damn.
was literally
Yeah.
guess what I was doing the whole 3 years?
What?
It led after the decline again, after my secondary school. Like it led to a gaming addiction.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Up until then,
Of course,
I
yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
we
dude.
didn't have a laptop up until polytechnic. When I was 16 even, I didn't have a laptop at all. I've never played computer games.
Yeah.
Right. When I turned 17, when you go polytechnic, you need
Yeah.
to have a laptop because everything's online. It's COVID period. So that's when I got into my first FPS game. Okay. And
Yeah.
well, I played
What'd you
Valorant
play?
again, cliche, but that was my first.
Dude, I played Valorant
Oh
too. That was
shit,
my
really?
first FPS game too.
Okay. Do
Weirdly.
you still play it, by the way?
Yeah, dude, yeah. I get
I
where
guess
you're
not.
coming from.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
every now and then. Yeah. Dude, why not? Yeah. I try to play a couple of games and then I'm off. And then usually I'm listening to something on the
I see, I
background.
see.
I'm supposed to listen
But yeah,
to.
it's actually a
I don't know.
I played during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
it was alpha period, I think, or beta period. So yeah, first
Oh
of all,
shit.
obviously it's a super fun game. I think we can both agree on that. But it got to the point where
Yeah.
I had this one friend of mine. Okay, the guy is too addicted to games. He was I don't want to blame him, but he was kind of a catalyst. He's enabler, okay? He's always there. Like I always say,
Yeah.
yo, bro, you down to play? Like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm really on. Let's go. He's the type of guy that that is always on his computer 24/7 playing games. So can
Yeah.
you imagine I say 2.5 years straight, I was I was on Valorant every
Radiant
single day.
fucking
Like every single
one or
day.
some shit. Jeez. Yeah.
I was it's very easy to juggle, and that's the thing about polytechnic is they give you a lot of freedom, right? Because you already know your timings, and
Yeah.
some days you only have to go to classes for an hour, right? So I have a lot of time, basically a lot of time, and because it was a COVID period, which
Yeah.
is also quite a shame, but I didn't manage to join a CCA. We call it co-curriculum activities. CCA, everything under the umbrella. Like you
Oh,
have your
okay.
sports CCAs, you have your clubs, you have your leadership roles, whatever it is.
Okay.
I I'm actually a taekwondo black belt before I even joined polytechnics. That was something I did. So I wanted to join their taekwondo
Yeah.
CCA, but
Yeah.
couldn't join. I wanted to try on the second year, but I guess along the way I forgot about it. And go home club. Like after hours, after school, I can go
Yeah.
home and play my games. So I
Jeez, man. So that's been the
yeah,
thing that was
yeah.
stimulating you throughout the 3 years, because everything else seems it was
Yeah.
super easy for you or straightforward in
Yeah.
how to do it. And the real challenge
In
that you
Valorant,
found
yes.
was trying to climb
Yeah,
ranks in
exactly.
Valorant, I guess.
I have a lot of points right now in my head, but
To start
Yeah.
timeline wise,
Okay.
what's the earliest thing that
I
you
had
talk?
friends. I'm so grateful and I'm super blessed with the type of people that's in my class. Because I can tell you for facts that engineering courses,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have this perception or this stereotype, yes, of them being nerds. They wear their jeans, they wear some weird anime shirt, or whatever. They don't really shave, they don't keep up with their appearance.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful that my class isn't like that. I actually got a bunch of cool people on, and it doesn't help that they all like to play games. They are cool people that likes to play games.
I mean that's why they're
Yep,
fucking
yep.
engineering, dude. I feel like everyone in
Yep.
engineering likes
So
to play games. Yeah.
so it doesn't
So
help that
I
we
feel
had
you.
a 5-man going on, literally the second or third week of school. Bro, we were literally grinding out Valorant
Yeah.
almost every day. It was so fun because we were on the Discord call, we were bantering around, and while we were rushing people, and we had a guy that was the top
Yeah.
of the rank, and it was impressive at that time because Valorant just started. This guy is already radiant. Like how insane! And he's one of my
Oh,
best friends now. I'm actually gonna meet
shit.
him 2 days later for an orientation run. But yeah, this guy has been a core part.
Yeah.
We had a 5-man going on at a very, very early on, and that kind of carried 2.5 years that we played. Super
Yeah.
addicting game, really fun, and what I can say is I really didn't regret it at all, in a sense. What what
Yeah.
changed me, that pivotal moment was actually a YouTube video, and I can vividly remember it was this.
Oh shit.
I think it was a 17-year-old kid talking about how he's also experienced the same thing. He was addicted to Valorant. He was trying every day to try to improve and get to immortal. Right? He's putting in 8 hours a day,
Oh.
just training in aim
Yeah.
labs, in Valorant, whatever aim trainer. He's just playing the game a lot, and he was talking about his experience. And it's after Valorant, and then what? He just said that, and then what? What do you have going on after that? He mentioned, he brought up, you don't see your friend. I don't see my friends. No, I don't really hang out with people anymore. All I do is just play solo Valorant. Like, I don't even play with my friends as much, because that was the end of the 2-year period where Valorant was slowly. Okay, I wouldn't say Valorant itself, but the people that started out with us at the beginning, after the 2-year period, they will naturally just fall off. They will, I'll play lesser. I want to play other games. So that was around that 2-year mark, which is quite common
Yeah.
for games, where a lot of his friends, and I experienced that myself too. A lot of my friends also just didn't play Valorant anymore. They were doing other stuff, right? But I was still in it. I was
Yeah.
still in that addiction. And when he said that, like, I
Yeah.
really resonated with him. And then he was just saying how you gotta, in a sense, touch some grass. I think that's what he said specifically. Like, you have to go touch some grass. Life is not
Yeah.
about Valorant. It's not about video games. You have to do something else. And
When was this?
no,
Was this the third
okay,
year of
it
your
was
polytechnic,
around like
or
2 years in, I would say. 2 years in, I saw this video, and that
okay?
was one of the main things that got me into the gym instead. Yeah,
Oh,
before, like,
okay.
the first 2 years,
Yeah.
I I did go to the gym, but it was super casual. It's a once a week kind of thing, and it was at my condo gym. So my condo gym is a super small, and I don't have to pay for it. So it's always free to go. So I
Yeah.
don't have that
It. Yeah.
pressure, the external pressure on myself to go. So, like, even though I went for
Yeah.
the supposed 2-year period, but I didn't do much. Okay, I didn't even track my stuff. I didn't progressive overload. I didn't know how to track my calories, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was just going there to move, to, in a sense, tell myself, hey, at least I'm doing something outside of Valorant. It's not that bad. My life is not that bad.
Oh,
But
geez, dude. What was your Valorant grinding? Were you doing morning to night
yeah, I had
kind of
some
a
days where
thing?
I could play 7 games in a day, 7, 8 games. It's just a lot of.
Jeez. 40 minutes each,
Yeah,
right?
it was a lot.
And then
Okay,
it's
the thing is, it's not just playing Valorant. When I'm
5
playing
hours.
Valorant, I'll
Yeah.
be watching Valorant. I'll be watching Twitch streams. Okay, it's to the point where it's bad. Like, it
Yeah.
is really, really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Because your mind is focused
Yeah,
on
I
getting
was.
better at the game, and you're thinking about nothing else but getting better. It's how the fuck do I
Yeah, strike this.
strafe? Yeah, strafe. And
Oh
then it's
yeah,
tap. You got, well, how do you go on
yeah,
head level the
exactly.
entire time? How do you have your mouse placement kind of thing?
Yeah,
I get you. I get you, man. Yeah.
fellow Valorant players. But yeah, I was starting the game. I was really. So I was bot reviews. Some bot reviews they put on YouTube. They get maybe 100 views, and I was a part of the 100 people that watch a bot review. Like, how crazy that is! That those people that play competitions and
Jeez.
then they upload VODs, right? They're dumping this thing on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I took it so seriously that I had to go in.
Yeah.
I had to watch a 2-hour game and then review. Okay, this is what this person was thinking when he
Yeah.
was here. I was too hardcore already, right? I was too hard.
Jeez, you were deep in. What was your rank after? I'm
Okay,
sure
I
you were
was
Radiant or some shit.
doing that.
Immortal 3 Radiant.
So Ascendant now. There was Ascendant. Yeah, I was basically
Yeah.
equivalent of Ascendant.
Yeah.
When I peaked, Ascendant 3, I think. Okay, so it's not that.
Jeez. That's better than me, bro.
What's your rank, by the way?
Dude, I'm bad at the game. Dude, I'm Iron 2 or whatever. I don't know. Even when I was good at it, I was able to
Yeah.
beat other players,
Win
but
the
I
game.
never could. I always played
Okay.
unrated. Yeah. So every time I play comp, I'm bro, these guys are when someone is so
Yeah.
bad you can't predict what they're doing. So they peak
Okay, yeah,
all
yeah,
the way. Who would swing? So it wouldn't make any sense. And I'm dude, fuck this. I'm here to play. For me, it was an avoidance mechanism because at work, there's so much shit going on, and I'm not
yeah.
inspired to do any of the work. Fuck it, I'll just play this game.
Let's see.
Have you
Yeah,
heard of Dauntless?
yeah. The game Monster Hunting.
It's like a
Yes, yes,
Monster
yes. I
Hunter
remember
kind of a
that.
thing. Yeah. Yeah. I started the entire game. And then I was farming bosses at that certain point. Then okay, I beat all the bosses with the guns. What about every weapon? So I started beating every boss with every weapon. And I was trying to get
Oh,
world records on it. Jesus
you were
Christ.
you were so very hardcore.
Yeah. The thing is, every time I hated what I was doing, I slipped into the game. I've noticed these addictive tendencies come out. I think I can resonate a lot with what you're saying is I never did really good in high school. High school, I was just like off thinking in my own head. I would read. I had a different, I was not, I wouldn't say addicted, but I was like really motivated to
Mhm.
one thing at all parts of my life. In the beginning, I was similar to you actually. I was like, I would do good, but only
Yeah.
in one subject. On one subject, I
Mhm.
would beat everyone in the whole school, but every other subject I was below
Yeah.
average. And then I'd pick, and then the weird thing is when I was a kid, the subjects switched. So
Yeah.
one time I was good in language, sometimes I was good in math, sometimes I was good in English, sometimes I was good in, and I ended up with science. That was the thing I was really good at. And then later, I want to be a scientist, I want to be an astronaut. Then I started drawing and I got really good at drawing. And then after, when you
Yeah.
reach middle school, right, people get really good at drawing. And then there's this Korean guy.
Mhm.
He came from Korea. And then he came and he drew an eyeball right
Mhm.
here. He drew an eyeball. And I swear it looked like a real
Damn.
eyeball. And how is this? My mind was blown. And I think after that day, I stopped drawing. I was like, fuck
Yeah,
this. I
that's so
can't
cool.
do this. Because when I
Yeah.
started drawing, I was in India, right? I didn't really pick up the hobby here. But when I was drawing in India, pretty much all the teachers put this competition in my head of you're supposed to do this. And I always thought drawing was a creative expression. You're trying to put down what you're feeling through the paper. And I saw some artworks. I'm like, these aren't perfect.
Yeah.
Why is this
Yeah.
recognized as good? Right. And then all these teachers put this competitive mindset. So I think at that point, when I saw that Asian guy's drawing, I'm bro, I gotta stop drawing. Because this is clearly because at that point you get your parents like, oh my god, you're so good at drawing, this, that, whatever. And then your friend better
Yeah.
than your friends and you feel good about yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm an artist. And then after that, I'm not an artist anymore. But more to the point of what you're saying
Yeah.
earlier, it's that I was really good as a child in terms of studies, in terms of one area. And then parents also were super worried because if you look at me as a whole, I'd have average. Because one was above
Yeah,
average,
fair,
but
fair.
everything was below average. So then I turned out to be average. And I was like, geez, dude. And so they were worried. And here I don't care about grades. So I keep doing whatever I felt doing in terms of what my heart told me to do, which was play
Yeah.
games, hang out,
Right.
and have fun. And so I would sacrifice basketball practice to hang out with people because I rarely get to ever hang out with this guy. Let me go hang out with him after school. And my mom was, are you ridiculous? We have a basketball camp thing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to the basketball camp.
Yeah, I just
Just to hang out with this guy after
I
school.
see, I
It's
see.
dumb as hell. And then she was, I'm never signing up. You're never going to sign up for
Right,
everything
right, right.
ever again, kind of a thing. And shit. Then basketball went out the window. I'm like, all right, basketball's not the thing. Then I did basketball, soccer, and football
Okay.
through my middle school because
Yeah.
I was really into sports. And then after I went to middle school, I did swimming all the time. It's 2 hours every
Yeah.
day was swimming. And so that was difficult in the beginning because I had asthma. When we came here, the asthma cured, and it was because
I
of the
see.
pollution in
Yeah.
India.
That makes
Yeah. Then once we came here, it became about that. I don't know, man. I know what you mean by they have
yeah.
expectations set. And then I think that's what I experienced with work. There was so much expectation of you are this thing. And then once you're not, you go into this deep thing of shit. I'm not that person anymore. Some part of me knows it, but
Yeah.
they don't know it yet. And once they do know it, how will they react? How will they, how will things be? And it's kind of prolonging the more I prolonged it, the more shit I felt about it. I was looking for things to fill up, which is games or this, that, whatever, where I'm hyper focused. And yeah, because I think there's an intuition where I guess there isn't necessarily a future in me investing myself in school and feeling
Okay.
good about it. I felt like no, because I would see teachers, right? They're like, oh, it's really good at this one class. But then at the end of the day, this is pretty
Yeah.
basic. This isn't
Yeah.
enough for me to invest myself. That's what my mind thought. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Right. And then, but meanwhile, here you get kudos, your friends are hyping you up. You're like, dude, I'm ranked up and there's so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
hype and excitement around it. But this is super boring. There's no,
Yeah.
So I feel you, man, dude. And I think you'd really do well in competition. I think that's where you'll succeed is competition, being in that space where you're
Yeah.
really in your element. That's what I find that, yeah, these addictive tendencies, yeah, tend to help you later on, but during the moment they feel like shit though. But yeah, no, I relate
Yeah,
with what you're saying,
I'm glad
dude.
you said
Yeah,
that. So I
a
think
lot of
you
resonance there.
described perfectly how you're able to articulate very well how I felt also about the part where I knew I wasn't that guy anymore, but my parents didn't know. I think you said that perfectly, and me
Yeah,
not telling them because I didn't tell them for that 2 years period, or like I was avoiding it a lot. I was giving them
yeah,
excuses, right, for them to still believe in me, but that kind of snowballed in a
yeah,
sense, and it is just not necessary. Like, I can let them. I should have let them know this is what's going on. This is what I've been struggling with, and communicated more with them. I think that's one of
yeah.
the
But I understand your thing though. In Asian societies, dude, if you're not good at academics, you're pretty much treated like a failure. It doesn't matter what your other strengths are. They're gonna be like, because, dude, think about it. Your parents were super proud of you, and then you felt like you were taking their happiness
yeah,
away
yeah,
if you
right,
told them
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's not just
exactly.
failing, because I feel like people that aren't growing up from an Asian background, they don't understand that. It's because I see kids here, their parents are like, "Oh, you got a B, good job," and I'm like, "Bro, and as an Asian, B, here we have letter grades. I don't know what is there.
Yeah,
It's like A, B, C, D, and then F." And some of these kids, like, they don't give a shit. They're like, "Oh, as long as you get, if you don't get lower than a B, it's fine." But for Asians, it's like
yeah,
it always has to be an A or above, and then they kind of tell their
yeah,
parents, "Oh yeah, my kid's doing
yeah.
super well.
That's
This, that, whatever. He's doing this
pretty much.
activity."
That's pretty much the stereotype.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
But it's true
yeah,
though. It's a stereotype for a reason in a way. And I could only imagine because yeah, that's the situation when you're there. It's you saying that you got a lower grade. It's like that as you described that disappointment when they heard the scores, is you felt like almost shame.
yeah,
You let down the
exactly.
whole family. And then you couldn't deal with that because at a certain point when everyone thinks, oh, if this is a failure, then you're in that position all of a sudden, then you freak out. It's like, what the fuck? I was doing, how can I, it's almost like I'm doing well
Yeah,
up until this point, and
yeah,
how the hell am
exactly.
I
Like
suddenly
how am
this?
I like this?
And you can't even believe it yourself because you're the
Yeah,
same goddamn person. This overemphasis fucks you up. It fucks you up mentally so much that you go into this notion where almost that addiction is you running away from this identity change. Because before, when the identity was good, everything was working, you don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
know how it was
exactly.
working. I'm passionate, I'm doing it, I'm getting it. And all of a sudden
Yeah,
you're like, I lost that touch. Same for me. I became really conscious that I'm good at science. I couldn't score well on my science exams anymore. Because before I would go home, I'd study myself or something where I'd remember everything the teacher
yeah.
was saying. I was super attentive. And then
It gets to your
eventually
head.
I switched to America, and America was so easy. I became super complacent. It was so much fun
Yeah,
for me to go
yeah.
around and play. Because in India, dude, because of the asthma, I would be sick every other week. Unironically, I would have a fever that would last a whole week, and then I would be fever free for a week, and then so I would
Oh,
skip half the classes. The entire time I would only attend 50% of the class. My attendance rate
you,
was
oh,
always 50, 60% in India
yeah, yeah.
because I would be sick half the weeks. Yeah. So it was
Oh,
another thing, but I think that Asian thing really fucks you up
actually,
mentally.
but I want to ask more. I guess what was your upbringing like? You moved
Yeah.
to America when you were how old?
I was
Okay.
7 when I moved. 6, 7. So, and yeah, pretty much then my asthma was gone in 2 weeks. And I think that was the first time I ever
Oh
played
my,
around in a park.
yeah.
It was crazy. And that was the first time, oh, I can run all the
Yo,
way. And
it's
I
pretty bad,
played
man.
in the
Because it's quite long ago, so like what, 10, 15 years ago around there. So I can imagine like, it was even worse
Yeah, yeah.
in the state of India, where you lived. Right, it was probably a lot worse now. But
Even then, we were living in the most polluted, I think it was the second most polluted city at the time in India. And we were living in the most
oh
polluted
shit.
part of the most
Okay, okay.
polluted
Yeah,
city, one
yeah,
of the most polluted
yeah,
city. So I was fucked up. So when I came
yeah.
here,
I'm
that
so glad, man.
pollution made a world of
Like your
difference.
parents wanted to come here. But I cannot
Yeah,
imagine if you. Yeah, like it's honestly quite. Imagine like you can't even play around as a kid.
I could, but I get
Yeah,
exhausted. And even in India, there was no PE. It was literally, we had a concrete floor for us. We had preschool at the bottom, and then every floor was
yeah,
a
yeah.
new grade. So I go to second grade, third grade, I go one higher floor. So then how it worked is then if you wanted to play, you got to take the elevator all the way to the top. And there they had this literal, think about
Mhm.
gray concrete. It was a gray concrete floor
Okay.
with nothing in it.
Oh, just
And that's where you
run
play.
around, play catching. I see.
Literally tag, hide and seek or some I don't even know what I don't remember even. I was 5, 6. They had this cursive contest
Mhm.
where it was a handwriting contest. So you're getting judged on how good your handwriting looks. And that's the first time I ever won an award. I was the best in the whole school at handwriting.
Okay,
Second
okay.
best, sorry. At that time, there was this Indian lady. She was a daughter for one
Ah,
of the teachers. And she won every first place award.
that's so
And
blatant.
now, thinking about it, then I was, what the hell? Every time she would get the word, sit down. Okay, next award, math. And she'd call her name, and then she'd come up with her award. So the real winners were the second place people. I think there was only one award where she didn't win the first. But I swear that teacher colluded with the
That way
committee or
we
something.
can't,
There's
we
no
can't
way she
give
was
her
the
the
first
first
one or
one.
anything.
Let's just take one out, man. One of the awards, give it to someone else. That's so funny. So
Yeah,
blatant as
literally.
well.
And I got a clock. Yeah. So then after that, actually, after a few months after winning the
Mm.
award, I left. I had to basically quit second grade in the middle, and I'd moved to second
Oh,
grade
that's
here.
great, yeah.
And yeah, so then I got placed in second grade again, but I was the middle of
Yeah.
second grade.
Oh,
No, I was in third grade. I was in the beginning of third grade there, and then I moved back to second grade here. Because in India, I started
I
school a
see, I
year
see.
earlier than everyone would. So I started when
Yeah.
I was 3, I think 3 years old. So
Yeah.
that's the
A
difference.
little throwback
Yeah.
moment for you. But I'm really glad you got to live
Yeah.
like a better life in America. I think that's always the dream of a lot of Asian parents. So being able to make it work, I can't imagine
Yeah.
how hard your parents had to work for it. So props to you, man.
Bro, they had a job lined up. My dad had a friend, and he was connected to, they were coworkers, and then they were like, oh, let's go to America. Everyone's going, why not try it out? If it sucks, we'll just move back. And then they had a friend who was owned a consultancy agency or had one. And he came here when he was the 1990s. And then he
Mm.
set up this consultant agency. So basically, they came over working
I
with
see,
him.
I see.
And then after they did a few consultancies, a few companies offered the full-time position. So then it's like, okay, we'll just go to the full-time position. I'm just glad I was able to breathe. I think that's that moment. Yeah, I was like, fuck, I can
But
breathe.
yeah, that's a really, really, really fun story, man.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. You got to continue your thing, man. What happened after the gaming addiction? How'd you
Yeah,
turn your life around?
okay. I feel like fitness was definitely a big part. It was all of really random also, but just when I told myself I'm gonna cut Valorant. When I say cut, I couldn't cut it also, but I minimized a lot of my hours. Like I was playing like 1 game a day, maybe 2 games max with my friends.
Yeah.
After I told myself I'm gonna lessen down hours, I think like a week or two afterwards, a friend of mine, a secondary school friend of mine, we haven't contacted in. We do like, talk every now and then, but definitely not considered a close friend, more acquaintance. But he suddenly just
Yeah.
reached out to me, yo, bro, you wanna go to the gym? Because he stays in kind of the same area. Yo, I wanna go here. No, I've been going here for a while. You wanna go with me? I didn't even ask him that I wanna go, but somehow,
Yeah.
or rather, it was like
The
2
universe
weeks
called out
after
to
I
you.
told myself I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop. This guy randomly reached out. The thing is, I always had the fear of going to the public gym. And I think it's quite a natural fear because
Oh.
I've always been to the condo gym. Whenever I tell myself, oh, if I want to work out, I have a condo gym here. Why would I just go outside? I rather just be in a safe. It felt more safe in this space, right? And I never had the
Yeah.
pressure,
Yeah.
in a sense, to have to go outside to a public gym. He said that, no, I'm like, okay, sure, let's go. I've never benched before until then, by the way. That was like my 2 years in
Yeah.
the gym. Because my condo gym only had dumbbells, we had a treadmills, obviously, and a cable machine. That's all. So I benched
Oh,
before.
shit.
But when I went to the public gym, bro, that was the
Yeah.
first thing I wanted to try. I was so excited to go because I've always been like, how does it feel to bench a barbell? I've never touched a barbell before.
Wait, so you watched YouTube videos the entire time to know
Yeah,
what all the
so I was
exercises
like,
are?
I was ready to go use the stuff in the public gym. No, I tried out so many stuff.
But how did you know what they were? How
I
did
feel
you
like
know what they were
it's
even?
I
Yeah.
have common sense in a sense. It's not that hard to know what a machine does, or sometimes they have instructions there. But more or less, I already know this is
Yeah.
a bicep machine, that this is a leg machine. But all the machines and obviously the barbell, right? It got me so interested. There's all this stuff that I didn't have
Yeah.
in my condo gym. That's everything that I need here. And the thing about our public gyms in Singapore, I I'm really lucky to be in an area where we have two of the best public gyms. Like literally, the view is insane here. We have a swim,
Jeez.
literally a great swimming pool, and then the opposite end is filled of trees and really really nice buildings. So and it's a very big space, so you have to understand. So even though it's a public gym, it feels quite premium
Yeah.
compared to other public gyms, right? And
Yeah.
so
Wait, you mean by public gym? Is it a gym membership you pay
um
for? Or is it
okay,
because everything in America is
yeah, okay, yeah,
corporatized, so
it's a
I don't
corporate,
know if
yeah,
that's
it's
the
a
same over
corporate
there.
gym. We have a okay, this was 250 Sing dollars an entrance. So it's a
Okay.
everybody pays a one-time
Okay.
fee to go in. And then the next jump, okay, is Anytime Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine there's a big commitment difference,
Oh, you guys
right?
have an
But
anytime.
this public gym, I can
Yeah.
just go twice a week. I pay 250 per entrance. Whereas compared to a Anytime Fitness, I have to pay like
Yeah.
98 Sing dollars per month. So it's a big commitment. So this was I was never gonna jump straight to Anytime Fitness. I would never be able to make that jump from someone that goes to the condo gym, right? So this was a great first step. And I'm
Yeah.
lucky enough that the first step that I took, this gym progression, is in a gym where I actually enjoy the scenery and all. Because I've been to gyms they're all under the same corporation. It's called Active SG, right? And I've been to other Active
Oh, okay.
SG places, super cramped. The people there are also all probably older people, those grandpas that goes in there. So
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, but they're not they're
Do the
just
weird ass
moving
exercises.
their body, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I know what
the
you mean.
environment would have been really bad for me
Yeah.
to stay in if I was serious about gym. Right. But I'm lucky enough to say
Yeah.
to have an environment that so many big dudes actually go there. Because again, it's a very decent gym for a price that is
Yeah.
crazy, like 250 an entrance. You can never get it anywhere else, man, you know. So okay, so we're back to my first
Jeez.
day, my first experience at public gym. But I was so excited, man. Like I tried the barbell, but I could only put
Yeah.
5 kg on each side of the barbell, so 30 kg. Because it felt so
Yeah.
weird holding the bar. Like
Dude. That was the same for me. When I was first doing it, I was, dude, how the bar felt
right,
heavy.
right.
Like, what the hell? How are people putting, yeah, I was, Jesus Christ. And then, yeah, 10 pounds, 10 pounds, I think was,
Yeah,
this is my limit. And then I think in a couple weeks I worked up to 25, but then I'm like, I could only do 25, but then
yeah,
my
yeah,
shoulders start hurting
yeah,
a lot. I don't know
yeah.
if you got that same issue, but bench for the first time was my shoulders was impinged
It's
or
so
something. I
weird.
don't know what the hell was happening.
It felt so
But
weird,
yeah,
right?
dude.
But
Yeah.
it's actually very fun because my friend could bench 2 plates. Okay, this guy quite a he's around my height. That's the thing. Like he's
Jeez,
just
bro.
a big guy. He's around
Yeah.
my height, but he's a bit of a plumpy guy.
Is he fat big or
He's
just
a
like,
he's not a
oh, okay,
muscular
okay.
big. He's a more chubbier side. Yes, but he's strong. Strong.
But dude,
Yes.
they're hidden. One guy, he never benched and and ironically, he was
Yeah,
heavy, pretty heavy, and he could bench
just like
2
that.
plates. First time
I
ever
don't
benching.
understand, man.
I don't know if that was a lie, but bro, this guy is
Damn.
16. 16. This Mexican dude came on and started benching the shit out of it. And I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, well, I just did push-ups with my, I don't know, dude. I don't know what
It,
these guys got. But
yeah, it's
some people
actually
are just built
crazy
differently.
how
Jeez.
the genetics. I would say it's genetics, obviously, but also their hard work. But how they respond to strength gains
Yeah.
it's so different from for everybody, man. It's very very interesting to see. And generally Asians they're not as strong or they're not built like that
Yeah.
as Americans or people in America. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. It's being a South Indian, bro. Be a South India is possibly the worst in
we're
both
stuck with the
demographics, apparently.
oh
I
shit,
never
really?
knew that, but yeah. Yeah, I looked at this genetic thing. I mean, I don't know how real
Uh-huh.
it is, but there's this guy I used to watch. He's like pretty nice guy. And there's pretty much Chinese and Indonesian. Chinese are okay because they fought
Yeah.
shit ton of wars. So there's the strength, the muscularity. I mean, you see a Chinese guy here, bro. He's built.
Okay.
He's a rock. He's chiseled. I don't know. They're just naturally
Yeah.
have lower body fats. Their belly fat isn't that. And then, dude, I'm not even joking. The Chinese aunties, their calves are ginormous. I've never seen such big calves on a human being. Their calves are, you fill up a water balloon,
Yeah,
a huge water, it's this big. And ironically, this big, bulbous,
almost.
bulbous calves.
They are built different.
Jesus Christ.
They, bro,
Actually. And so
all
it's
the
just like,
groceries they have to carry, all the
yeah,
times they have to cook for their family. Just man.
dude, I don't even know. I see a male chef, his calves are like this big, bro.
Okay.
His calves are like this big. And that guy stands up all day. Something about
Yeah.
the genetics, man. For the ladies, is the calves are ginormous for some of them. And I'm jealous. I'm holy shit.
Like I used to have the victim mentality where it's because for me, my fingers are
Genetics,
pretty short in a
that kind
sense.
of thing.
I'm able to train hard.
We got the
I don't
same
know. I
hands,
feel like
bro.
my fingers are a little bit
Or
on the
kinda.
shorter side.
I don't
It's
know.
definitely on the shorter side. Like objectively speaking, okay.
Yeah.
And even my
Yeah.
I'm very I think about all these things a lot sometimes in detail. Like even my arm length, my
Overthinking kind of thing.
proportions are a little bit
Yeah.
fucked already. To be fair, you can tell because yeah, my
If
arms
your
are
arms
short.
are short, you'd have a great bench, bro.
Fair enough, fair
Great
enough.
bench.
But yeah, I always think about it as
Yeah.
I'm someone that I know I can put in the work. I'm able to, and I really want to train really hard. I
Yeah.
know I can outwork a lot of people in the gym at least. But it's my proportions are also
Oh,
because I'm also into
yeah.
fashion, so I kind of know. You see a lot of like skinnier guys. They have good proportions. They can really pull off any feat they want, right? But then when I kind of try the same feats, it's like
Yeah.
it's really not there. And then I'm a little bit chubby also, so I guess I can lean down on that aspect. But I always have that. I used to always have that
Yeah.
victim mentality where shit, man, why did God give me these proportions?
Yeah. If
Yeah,
only I had
so
this other thing. Kind
yeah,
of thing.
that
Right?
was
Yeah.
it was not a big struggle, but it has always been in the back of my mind. I can't go all in or something because I feel what's the point? People have it a lot better, genetics better, they have this better, and for a
Yeah.
long period of time, it caused me to get at my average. I think that's what I've been struggling with throughout my life is that I feel I'm a very average person and I live a very average life. Okay, and like Romy said this before, that's the worst place that you want to be in because you're breezing through.
I mean, but
Yeah, yeah,
can I say something right now? Really quick? You're probably not. You think you are. So the way the mind works is if you
yeah.
think you're something, your mind will try to put you in
Mm,
positions of that. So if you think you're average, you'll be finding yourself in an average position.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
walk back a little bit to the mentality shift. When you said I was a genius, I was doing way better than all my classmates, I had the knack for it. So therefore you were more and more. But the minute, dude, I guarantee, I think back to my own memories around this. That's why I'm saying this. When I had that shift of, oh, I'm not good at it anymore. What happened was my brain shifted in
mhm,
identity. So before you were working from confidence,
yeah,
I knew this was my thing. But once that thing takes away, and then you're in the failure category, I'm in the
yeah,
I don't want to be here category, and I've never been
yeah,
there my entire life.
mm,
Because have you ever been in that category ever
yeah, hundred
before
percent.
that? You no, when that shifted, when you were doing that 2 years when
Mhm,
you got before you got your phone, were you ever in that category of, because for me it was science. So when I was getting good scores in science, like, oh, I have
yeah, yeah.
something I can be proud
Okay.
of. But then there was a moment when I came and I slacked off and everything, and I'm getting it was 2 years later, fourth grade. So when I came here second, so fourth grade, 2 years later, we
Okay.
had a standardized exam. And I was like, this school is so
Okay.
easy. I'll be able to get a good score. Even though it didn't matter. But I had an average score again. I'm like, what the hell? All this is supposed to be really easy. How am I
Yeah,
getting an
yeah,
average score? And so then it's a mindset shift. It's not even what you're capable of. Automatically, because a test doesn't measure your value. I don't care what anyone says. A test is not going to measure your value. Generally speaking, it doesn't. And what happens is what shifts isn't what the test is telling you. What shifts is what you believe about yourself. So all of a sudden you believe you are a failure now, or you believe that you're less
yeah,
than what you were before, even though probably nothing has changed.
yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
has
That's right.
actually changed. You didn't actually lose IQ cells. You didn't get a concussion.
Yeah,
You had the same brain. You have the same knowledge set, but suddenly it's that identity shift. And once you have that identity shift, you're going to have this impression of
yeah,
you are this person. You know how that victim, it's a mentality,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
mindset. It's a mindset shift where then I'm like, oh shit, I believe
Yeah.
I am that
I
person now.
yeah, but
Because it's like,
actually, yeah, now that you say like
that kind of a thing.
it's again that slow decline during that period, it was exactly that. Every time, and it's like I try so hard to tell myself because I already somewhat understood what you were saying at that age. Okay, I kind of the mentality that I can't keep
Yeah.
saying I'm a loser. The more I say I'm a loser, I'm actually a loser or I'm not good at this thing. But it's like
Yep.
I
Yep.
keep trying to tell myself,
Yep.
I know I can do this. Like, I've done this before. This test is I'm gonna crush it. Especially for maths. Maths was my thing. Back in primary school, I
Yeah.
was really really good at it. So during any of the math tests, I kind of told myself I'm gonna crush this. It's not that hard. And whenever the results come back and it's so bad, it's not even in my imagination that I can do this bad. There were literally times like that.
Yeah.
I try to tell myself it's a one-off thing. I'm not that stupid.
It's
Yeah,
coping,
and
right? That kind of thing. You're coping. You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
accept
exactly.
reality for
So
what it is at that point because you hyped yourself up again and you're like, now I'm
yeah, yeah,
disappointing myself. After a certain point, it doesn't have to do with anyone else. I'm
yeah.
disappointed in
So
myself.
yeah,
And
that
then,
that
yeah,
disappointment
dude.
really all is happening, and then up to a certain point, that's where I was like,
Yeah.
I'm bad at maths, man. There was maybe 15 tests in a row. I can probably tell myself I'm bad at math, man. I need to do something about it. So it was doing that whole
Yeah.
and 15 tests. That's you can probably think of it as a period of 1 year probably, where we have 15 tests. So it was
Yep.
really hard for me to wrestle with the fact that I'm seeing myself decline from math. It was literally my thing. I even went to math Olympiad in primary school. That was given to the top 3% of
Yeah.
students, I think, offered to join this extra program. So I was really, really gifted or at least smart in math. So when I saw myself, I literally
Yeah.
seeing it live that it's declining, I'm doing really bad. Like my A maths and my E maths, the topics that I was like, this is so easy, man. Like, I'm gonna crush this. And the fact that
Yeah.
when the results come out, just went down to shit. It's so hard for me. I was coping so hard. I keep
Yeah.
telling myself, nah, it's not me, it's not me. But it's really that
Yeah.
me seeing myself decline that kind of ruined my other parts of my life in a sense. I was just telling myself if I can't do good at math,
Yeah.
why even bother with history? Why even bother with geography? No, I'm gonna suck at them anyways. So
Yep.
yeah,
You start giving up
so
pretty
it
much.
slowly just became my fact. The more because of one subject, one topic that I did bad in, and the expectations I put on myself,
Yeah.
and it happened a lot of times. I just snowballed into me becoming this person that thinks I'm not good at anything at all. And when I say anything, I really mean I was doing whatever I was doing. I just had something in the back of my mind. I'm not good at this. I can't be good at this. And that
Yeah.
was a really bad period of my life mentally. And I was coping really hard with basketball. I actually played a lot of basketball throughout my secondary school. That was
Holy shit.
every time after
Yeah.
school hours. Because I did have my laptop back then, so I wasn't like addicted to games. I was addicted to playing basketball. Yeah, but it was like it's somewhat good addiction. Also, I
Yeah.
really loved playing that,
Yeah.
and so yeah, just throughout that whole period, man, my coping mechanism in a sense is basketball. I just went to play sports after hours. I didn't want to study more, and that just led to me doing worse and worse and worse. And I became that person that I
Yeah.
never in my life would have imagined I was. You know.
And then you kind of let yourself go at that
Yeah.
stage of fuck it. And then everything becomes this thing of running away. Because when you're trying to talk yourself into it, you're like, yeah, I can do this. Of course it's gonna be easy. You're lying to yourself. I don't know how
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
to put it, but part of you knows this isn't real. What I'm saying is fake. And it's not helping. It almost makes it worse, but also better because you distance yourself from it, whatever the reality that you feel you need to look at is. And that's a really hard
Yeah.
place to be, bro. It's like, yeah, because you can't really talk to anyone about it. Everyone goes
Yeah.
through the similar thing. And it's almost like no one wants their reality to be shattered either, right? And so We're all vibing along, and it feels like it's like you're
Yeah,
driving
and you
off
have
the
no
road.
control of it.
Right? You know what I mean? Like we had the paved road, and then you went off right out, and then yeah, dude, and you fuck it. And so yeah, dude, I get it. And the thing is, yeah, the harder we run away from it, the more fear of facing that, because you knew
Yeah,
you're gonna face it. I mean, that O test, you knew
definitely.
it. Part of you knew it's like, dude, there's no hiding this. Whatever result's gonna be public. Anyone
Yeah,
can see it. That kind of a thing. It's like, and then that's yeah. For me, also, it was like the SATs were similar. I didn't study. I hated
yeah,
studying. In a way, I hated it, but I didn't. I'm like, this test is stupid. Remember all these things? Yeah, this test doesn't actually matter. It doesn't. And then all my parents would tell me, be like, you better study for this. You have like a 6 months to prepare for it or something. And I'm like, bro. And then we would go to McDonald's to study, and we start playing like PUBG
okay,
on my phone. Yeah, it's like fuck. And then I'm like, I'll do all right.
yeah,
And I was coping with it too, as well. It's just like, dude, the stronger the expectations, the bigger you build yourself up, kind of the further down you fall, is what I've observed. Is you were top 1%
yeah,
in your school of math Olympiad, you had the high road, dude. And then the expectations, how you feel about
yeah,
yourself, it drops that much lower.
yeah.
But dude, we
I
moved through that, but
yeah.
it's
So
the I feel you, dude. I didn't think anyone went
yeah, I
through
feel like
this. Yeah.
we have quite similar experiences in that sense. Yeah. So I guess I can talk more about how if anyone's listening and they kind of experiencing the same things, especially a lot of people are going through a school period and they're maybe from ages 13 to 16, for example. And can you imagine that's when you're
Yeah.
forming a lot of your identity, yes.
Your identity,
So
everything.
when you go through that period saying no, you're not good at anything at all, for me that carried on three more years than it needs to be honest. Back over to my polytechnic years. So
Yeah.
what kind of got me out, I can talk more about that, is obviously fitness. I talked about it
Yeah.
earlier, but the thing about fitness is it wasn't a fitness was what saved me from this. It was a very gradual transition. I was gradually getting more and more passionate about fitness. Not because I was in a sense in a bad
Yeah.
place. Because I was gaming, I didn't know I was in a bad place. I felt good. So it's I'm stuck in this,
Yeah.
happy go lucky day. I'm having fun with my friends. And I'm not doing bad in school also. You have to understand that fact. That I was able to juggle playing games and also my studies. Right. I my GPA was three
Yeah.
point six. So it was I think three and below, that's where it's really, really bad. You can't even go to university. With my GPA, I can go to university. So
Yeah.
I was in a place where I was comfortable, right? I wasn't struggling. I didn't need to do
Yeah.
this. I didn't need to go into fitness. I would have still probably lived a happy life in from what I envisioned happy life would be. So for me, fitness was a
Yeah.
very slow and gradual passion for me. The fire in fitness, it slowly builds up. And before I even know it, it's been such a integral part of my life. In a sense, it did save me from that gaming addiction hellhole. Okay, it slowly put me out without even me thinking,
Yeah.
because I was drawn towards fitness because it was something that again I can improve in. No, I was really, especially the bench. I was so focused on trying to get the bench up.
You
It's
love
so
that
fun, man.
bench.
I don't know how to explain. It's not just a
Yeah.
chest and you just full push that shit up. So I had a goal. I had a really fun goal outside of the digital space, actual real life physics. And the
Yeah.
thing is, I didn't even know I wasn't that in tune with the benefits of fitness as I am right now. When back then fitness was
Yeah.
just, oh, I am really passionate about this. It's a fun thing for me to do. Right? It wasn't life changing. I didn't think of
Yeah.
it as a life changing thing. I felt it was fun. I want to do this. Right? I can do this in my free time. Slowly it built up. And that's the thing, man, it became a part of me. It became who I am. I tell myself, oh, I'm actually a fitness guy now. I'm the fitness guy. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm tracking my leaves about fitness to my friends. I'm encouraging them to go. I am kind of a fitness guy. That was a big shift because I've always been the gaming guy. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
again it's an identity shift for me where fitness was the north star for me. It was a slow direction that I slowly got drawn towards. And that was what became a rather pivotal moment in my life. And I don't know when, and that's the thing, don't know when, or I don't know when is the exact moment, but it happened along throughout the process where I want to take fitness seriously.
Yeah.
And I've even considered being a coach back then. So it kind of snowballed into now,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool. But yeah, what's your experience with
Yeah,
fitness then?
dude. I mean, I'm glad that.
What got you in?
God, that's a long. I've been trying to do. Before I was watching
Mhm.
videos on fitness since I was
Okay.
12
Yeah.
or 13,
Mm.
and then yeah, dude, I've been videos. I collect knowledge of all the different kind of exercises. Literally, that's and then for me, it was I wanted to be good at it, so I would go train and not hurt myself. Because what we did was when I was swimming, we would swim and do dry land. Never touch the gym. So I'm for fitness was cardio, then planking, doing planks or sit ups or whatever the hell. And then my first thing was, oh, how do I get
Mm.
abs? That kind of a thing. Because I'm swimming so much, why the fuck do I not have the lower two abs or something? I said the upper two, that kind of a thing. And it was about that. And then I started getting to, okay, how do I strengthen my body? All this. And the issue for me is I was too scared, not too scared, but I was I don't want to fuck it up. When I go to the
Yeah.
gym, I want to know exactly what I'm doing. And I was not learning while doing. I was
I
purely
see.
learning the theory. And that went on for
Mhm.
far too long, dude. And a lot of times when you have such complex theory and you've never had real world experience, you're naturally going to fuck it
Yeah.
up. Like, oh, fuck, why does my shoulder hurt? I'm supposed to be knowing what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to go
Yeah.
back and research more and then come back. There was a school gyms and I'm like, bro, why are all these kids so buff? Because naturally being Asian and you're swimming all day, you would build zero muscle, bro. Because even at home, there was no meat. The only protein I
Oh
got are 2
shit.
eggs. That's the
Damn.
only protein I got. Because I was eating a South Indian diet, and that has lentils, which has
You be-
protein, a little
Yeah.
bit spinach, lentils, stuff like that. But it's
Yeah.
mainly
Yeah.
vegetarian.
Yeah.
There's no meat anywhere. I'm like, back then I didn't was like, oh, protein, I need to grow muscle, but I didn't even think about that. Eating crap ton of food, and the only thing I ate outside was Panda Express. Dude, when you're swimming, Tars,
Yeah, I
you
can
are
imagine.
so hungry after. And there you every time I go home, there's a Panda Express right along the way. I gotta have some kind of thing. I would plead my mom. So then at least once a week we would go get
That's so
Panda
cute. That's so
Express.
cute.
After and so it was that and so I was swimming and then I think when I really lifted weights was the second year of high school, which was the
Yeah.
third thing. What this thing did is so they had dry land. So I did water polo. So I
Yeah.
had a long wingspan. So then people are like, "Oh, why don't you do water polo? You'd be a good goalie." And then they're like, "Oh, fuck it, I'll do water polo." And then so it's, after swimming, I did water polo. And I was like, "Fuck, I hate swimming, dude," because I swimming, but the way they did it is I wasn't a good
Okay.
long distance swimmer, and I was more. I like the short term swimming more,
I
whereas
see.
50 free or something like that. So then
What
that
do you
kind of a
think
thing.
about the
Yeah,
objective itself? Because it's very different. Swimming and water polo, the objective is so different. One is more
yeah,
you have a goal, you want to score the goal, and the other is aiming goal, you're swimming. So does that make a big difference in your decision?
yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the first time I ever played a team sport outside
Yeah.
of basketball and shit. Even, dude, I swear, even basketball, I hated playing with because the coach was so dumb.
Yeah.
So what he did is I
Okay.
was the tallest guy there usually. So then I'd go and I'd play the center. So my entire objective
Take the rebound.
is rebound
That's
and
it.
pass the ball outside. And that's all I fucking did. Yeah, and then because at that age, they didn't allow me to go and do this because I'd keep
I
elbowing
see.
people in the face, bro. And after a certain point, I was drawing too many fouls. So eventually, what I would do is I'd take the ball and pass
Take,
it out every time. And I'm
take.
and dude, this guy, bro.
Yeah,
And so
they need. I can
yeah, that drew the.
wasted potential. You could have been the next. I don't know who's a South Indian and
Dude, no, there's no South Indian NBA right now. I mean, but yeah, that's the thing. And then soccer, I was decent at it. I tried to play goalie, but I wasn't good at goalie. I was more of a defender. I've noticed all my things. I was
I think
good at
that's like a
defending,
reactive thing, right?
and then
Defending is more like a
every time,
reactive thing.
yeah, an instinctive thing. So then I would predict people's things. So then we played football, and football I was really good at defending. We didn't do tackle football since it was
Okay.
for 4th and 5th graders. Pretty
Yeah.
much it was like flag football. So I could get the flag. And I don't know, I always got people's flags somehow. And then I was good at sprinting. And it's weird. I was good at sprinting, which is supposed to be like a high fast twitch thing, but then I couldn't
Oh, I
build a lot
see, I
of
see.
muscle. Yeah. And I
It's
don't know,
definitely a
man.
diet then
So
in
then
that
that
case.
was,
Definitely.
yeah. I feel that, dude. And because I don't know, for the last 2 years, 3 years, I've been starting to eat more meat. And I think I've put
Let's
on some
go.
pounds pretty quickly. And I think it's not, but that's after
You're
10
right,
years
right,
of
right.
fucking around. But it's bound to finally. It
Yeah,
felt more
you
like
already
that
knew
than
it's
like,
coming.
yeah. Dude, if you go online and try to do theory, there's no good theory. Every time one guy says this is the right theory,
Yeah,
another
I
guy
get
says
that a lot.
that's a wrong theory. It's people pointing fingers at each other. Some people, oh, don't do bench. It'll fuck up your shoulders. Shoulder athlete nets. He's all about, oh, you're internally rotating your shit. I'm like, holy shit, internal rotation. And
Yeah,
face
yeah.
pulls are everything for him.
The
I've
face
never done a
pulls
single,
video,
yeah.
that was
He
what
got memed
stuck
about
with
it
me
so
until now.
much.
Like that was one of his main videos that I vividly remember. Okay, but
Yeah.
I guess back to right now there's information overload. There's everybody saying so many different things. What I always
Yeah.
tell people is like it's find three guys online, three coaches or whatever it is that you like
Yeah.
and you somewhat trust and follow them, unfollow everybody else. Don't care about everybody else. These are the three guys that you want to take reference to your fitness wise or whatever like, help you need with in
Yeah.
whatever sector. Three three guys, whatever they say, follow that direction. Don't think too much about other coaches. You already know these three people are gonna like are trustworthy and they know what they're saying. Stick with these three. I think that helps a lot with the overload of
Yeah.
information nowadays.
It does. And what worst part for me was I was working with too much knowledge. I knew anatomy and shit. I was buying medical books to talk about. It was dumb. The extent that was going to be a doctor. I'm like, oh, might as well learn how anatomy works when I'm lifting this stuff. And I was looking at these muscles. Like, so if I'm doing this, what am I activating? Then it's going to be,
Yeah.
because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know lats were going to be the main thing. I was like, maybe, how do I target these middle things? There's so many of these little things on the anatomy chart. I'm like, fuck, I
And
didn't, yeah.
by
I
the way, all those
probably
were
went,
theory, right? You didn't
yeah.
like really go in and try yet, correct? You didn't really go in and go to the gym and test the muscles.
Yeah. If I went, I did every now and then. It was so
Yeah, I
sparse.
see.
It's pretty much as if I didn't go. And then the first time I really went was with the team. And when I was doing water
Yeah.
polo, I
But
did dryland training. And then, no, not
okay.
dryland, off season training. Off season, the coaches wanted to do bench this. And I'm, how the fuck do you do bench? And that's the first time, as you're describing, I was holding the bar. I'm,
That
holy
shit's
shit.
heavy,
And then, and the issue was if I could do it, I could do 20 reps. But if I couldn't do one, I couldn't do it at all. That was the weird part for me. If I could do it, I could do it a lot of reps, but then, or I couldn't lift it at all. And there was some weird weaknesses where I was using my shoulders too much. I would constantly push my shoulders forward. And then, I don't know, dude, a lot of these mistakes, I was like, holy shit, I'm
Right.
learning for the first time. I knew the theory, but that made me
Yeah,
overthink
yeah.
what I was doing. So I couldn't put my full energy behind it. And in water polo, I was doing goalie training, right? So what happened is every time in goalie train, you practice with one hand and you throw it as hard as you can, pretty
Yeah,
much, because you
yeah.
want to throw it fast. And you also want it to skip. So you have to grip the ball like this. You can only grip it with your hand. So you have to literally grip the ball. And when you do it, you have to rotate it inward sometimes. So it skips and rotates
It's
in.
so complicated, yeah.
The thing with water polo is that it can skip on the water.
Okay.
And what happened was I was practicing all this shit and my shoulder kept getting more and more fucked up because I was throwing like 50 feet
Yeah.
or 20 feet, 20 feet, 50 feet. And then it's a lot hard to throw when you don't use your full body, you use your arm, which is way more painful because the rest of your body is trying to stay afloat. So you have to get really high and then throw it. And then the more I practiced those throws, the more I felt the internal impingement. So then I did these
Yeah.
rotator cuff exercises. And every time, it took me a long time to fix my form, bro. Embarrassingly long. And kept overthinking. That's the thing. Every time I go to the gym, it's
Right.
overthinking. And then all my friends, they would never consistently go. So this guy could he was doing the plate and a half, right? Again, a heavy ass dude. And he was
Yeah.
Vietnamese and he was cranking this out, him and his brother. And I joined them every now and then. Bro, you got to take the plate off. I can only do 25. And then I remember the first time I did a plate. I was, oh shit, I can finally do a plate now. And I could do 3, and then I'm like, my shoulder, I can't do anymore. My shoulder hurts too much. And I kept having that shoulder issue again. And I avoided squats. During water polo, your legs become huge.
Oh,
Essentially, in water polo, you don't use your hands. You're using your legs to stay afloat as a goalie. So what we would do is a fireman things. So imagine you're bobbing in the water and you get your nuts out of the water. That's the goal. Is you get your
okay.
nuts out of the water. It sounds weird, but if you want to lunge, you got to get your nuts out of the water, and then you
Right,
can
right, right.
shoot and get the ball. So that's the goal. So we would keep egg beatering as
Yeah.
fast as we can, as we go high, and then maintain that for a long time until we sink. Another thing was you take a thing and hold a chair with 10-pound weight on the chair over your head for 30 minutes.
Damn.
So it's really hard. Yeah, I mean, I could only do it for 10 or 15, bro. And then the other guy he could hold it for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So that was practice. Practice was holding it, maintaining it. And then the idea is you have your nipples out of the water. But that was dying. The water was here, and I was holding a
Yo,
chair
that's
above
so
my head.
cool.
So those really strengthened your
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
about sports. I really love about
Random
sports.
drills.
Like there's so many specific trainings that you can do. And it unlocks so much
Yeah.
movement or new ranges of motion in your body or things that you do in the gym. And yeah, I feel that's really
Yeah.
because right now I'm working with an athletic training coach. So the guy literally trains athletes. So I in a sense I deal with a lot of athletes in general from all kinds of sports. And it's always so interesting to see the different sport specific training that they have. This is honestly so cool. Like
Yeah.
a chair and a 10-pound dumbbell, whatever it is.
And you're floating in the water. Dude, once your legs are tired, you're drowning. So what I did is I'd drown and then I'd come back up. That was my break.
Yeah,
I'd take
yeah.
mini breaks there.
That's so cool,
And then
though. It's so cool.
yeah, dude. I mean, and then I never thought I would use the skill again. But then when I was working, I quit water polo by then because I hurt my back and all that. We played water polo with the team, and I was dunking on the director or some shit. And I was this 80-year-old man. I gotta be careful. And then none of them knew I was playing it. Jesus Christ.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, I think I should remind you to
Yeah.
drink some water in case you yourself,
I
man.
don't even have water. I guess I do.
Okay.
Per gallon. But yeah, that was the deal, though, dude. I didn't even tell you that when I got into gym.
Yeah.
I went to the gym then, and then I kept coming with more and more stuff, and it hurt my back. So unfortunately, as I was just about getting in the gym, so 10th grade is when I went to the gym. 11th grade, summer, I hurt my back. So then this was when I was getting super duper fit, and then I hurt my back. So then I couldn't walk for a week. Then my right side of my body, the leg thing was paralyzed. So I couldn't move it. So the range of motion, if this was my leg, I could move it.
Yeah.
And then so I'd be limping around school or some shit, which was super embarrassing for me because I was super fit all my life. Because other than the asthma, and up until that point, I never stopped fitness. So since I moved here, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, every time, the entire time, I was working
Doing something, yes.
on something. Yeah. So at that time, I couldn't do anything. And then even walking, I would feel this pain from the thing. And this was right around when I was taking my SATs.
Yeah.
The test. And so I was double depressed.
Imagine.
Because I was like, fuck, not doing good in school. I can't even do my fitness, bro. And then our team, our water polo team was really good at that year. We broke a 35-year-old record in our school. And so we made it up to state level qualifications. And I was supposed to be the goalie for next year. So we can keep that place. The main goalie.
Yeah.
And I hurt my back. I couldn't, and then I didn't even attend tryouts. And they're like, where the hell are you? And then they come hunt me down in school and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, sorry, dude, I can't. My parents told me I have to study because of, I made up an excuse. I didn't want to say that I hurt my back.
How come?
Because I heard it, because it was a dumb mistake, dude. I was jumping downstairs and I hurt my back. I was jumping a story of stairs at a time. 13, 14 steps.
Okay.
And so then I would use the handles to jump 13, 14 steps. And I was like, one time I was like, this isn't fast enough. I need to turn while jumping.
Okay.
So I turned while jumping, and then my upper body turned, but my lower body didn't turn. So then I was like this when I don't know, this is my lower body, this is my upper body. I like this, and then the spine popped out, the disc. And then it popped out, went back in, and then it was like bleeding, stuff like that. But pretty much, essentially, there was a blood clot that was sitting on my nerve, apparently. and that blood clot caused that nerve to
Yeah.
be super duper sensitive. So initially, it just acted almost like paralysis because I couldn't move the leg. I could move my hip, but I couldn't move or bend my knee. My knee was super
Oh,
straight,
like was it at
and
school?
it was
School?
fucking
Did this
weird.
happen in
Yeah,
school?
it was at a hospital.
It happened.
It
It
happened at a
jumped at the
hospital.
hospital.
I was volunteering at a
Okay.
hospital, and what happened is the hospital
Ah,
elevators are really slow.
yeah.
I think for the
Okay, okay.
patients, we don't want to do anything. I took the stairs, and it was a 9-story hospital. I ran up the stairs and I would jump down the stairs when I was
Yeah,
coming
but
down. And when I was jumping down, one of the times,
it's
yeah,
such a it's
yeah,
quite a
yeah,
cool story though. The irony of someone at a hospital.
hurt. And I didn't take care.
Oh, you
I
didn't
didn't get
immediately.
treatment there. I Yeah, because in my head, dude, I don't know if in America, everyone freaks me out about the hospital bills. During that stage, everyone's like, dude, the hospital bills are gonna be like fifty
Yeah, I
thousand,
can imagine.
$90,000, and I'm holy shit. Then I can't go to the emergency room. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if our insurance covers it or whatever. I was like
Oh
bearing with the
shit.
pain. I legitimately, after I hurt myself, I paused there for a minute because I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
how to move. I was in that awkward position, and the thing is, dude, this staircase wasn't part of the main hospital. How it worked is if this was a hospital, they
Connecting.
had a
Yeah.
bridge that goes through, and then they had a separate concrete, purely
Mm-hmm.
concrete
Mm-hmm.
staircase. Even if I yelled help, no
Oh
one would hear
shit.
me.
Oh shit.
Absolutely no one. I had to go through the stairs to go to. I paused. How do I move? Because I could
Yeah.
feel something
Yeah.
was not right, and there was so much
Yeah. Yeah.
adrenaline. I
Right.
couldn't feel anything in my body pretty much at that time, and I was like, "Fuck, how do I move?" And then I was trying to straighten my back, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then there was like this sharp, sharp pain going down my right leg from my back, and then after I'm like, shit, I fucked something up,
But
and I'm like, God,
but I can
that's
say
worth
you're a
the thing.
champion for that, man. You're definitely a champion for
God,
bearing through
dude, that
that.
was dumb. That was a
It's
dumb
not about
mistake.
like the way you handled it. Give props to yourself. But at least now it's better. It's not right. Like have you?
Yeah, yeah. Now it's
I'm guessing
better.
it's not
Yeah,
100. Will it ever be 100% better? Like treated?
yeah, yeah. I think it's 98,
Oh, okay. That's great.
99.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. Yeah, I don't have any pain right now. I could slouch and I don't give a shit. Because that year, dude, I couldn't slouch. It was an anti posture thing. I don't know if you want to ever hurt your back to fix your posture, but it fixed my posture. So I was literally this. No matter where I was crossing my arms and standing this. Because there's no other way to
I
stand
see. I
where it's
see.
comfortable. This made my back slouch, which hurts my back. So I had to arch my back all
Well,
the time and
pause.
shit that. But
Okay. I can imagine.
Jesus.
I
So
can imagine.
I meant posturally. God
We
damn.
gotta start with those.
All
We
right,
gotta
all
start with
right.
those. But thank you for sharing. I think it definitely. I understand you feel like it's a very embarrassing
Yeah.
story. So which obviously at the time definitely I can
I
how embarrassed you felt having to share that with your even your parents.
think
Yeah, I had
parents, I
to.
had to, right? Because I was bedridden for a week. Yeah. So, but imagine being to your teammates. Hey guys, we went to the CSS, the state competition. Yeah, sorry, I can't because there's no other backup goalie. I was the
I
only
see. I
goalie.
see.
And so the issue was if I was going to be the main goalie and you don't have a goalie, they don't train 15 other goalies. They only have one
Yeah,
or two
correct.
goalies. So it's pretty much at that time, I needed to be the next goalie.
That
And imagine me. Oh, and then guess what? I wasn't the goalie. They scored a shit ton of goals on us, and we went back
oh
down in
did
rank.
you
So
yeah
because
it's
of me not
yeah.
being there
Oh
for the
man.
team,
Oh
they
man.
ranked down. And so that was a golden year where I was part of the team. And so, yeah, dude. And so imagine saying, "Oh, it's because I jumped down from
Yeah,
a flight of
I
stairs."
can yeah, that
Because
honestly
I don't know. I had too much respect for them
yeah.
to lie to them about
I
it, but
that's such
I don't know
a
what to tell them.
yeah, I think I've had and
So
I can't remember specifically, but I kind of have some similar experience where you have the whole team on your back in a sense like that burden that you have to carry,
yeah,
and the problem is the the consequences is something so stupid. That's where it is the disconnection. You
yeah,
can't tell them something so serious when what you did was something so stupid. I yeah, I can't
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
how. bad it felt, man. And I'm glad that phase of your life is over and you are able to talk about it now freely to me. But
Yeah.
it's okay, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like third year in college, I
Okay.
was able to talk about it because this happened when I was in high school.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it's been a good while, but it took 4 or 5
Yeah.
years to heal. To just being able to walk without pain took 5 years, almost 4 years, 4 to 5 years. And then I think 4 to 5 years later, then if I put myself in a bad position, then it would hurt. And it would hurt for a few weeks. So then I had to identify what are bad positions, what are good positions. And now I can be in any position and I'll be fine. Most
Okay.
any positions, almost any position. The part where it'll hurt again,
Okay.
but I don't
That's
think it'll
great,
hurt
man.
because I'm so conscious of
Yeah,
every
you had to.
move.
You had
But
conscious, man.
yeah,
But that's very interesting.
yeah,
Fun story, I would say. It's definitely a fun story. And the part with water polo, maybe you could have played competitively, but hey, look at you now. You're doing a lot in the AI world. You're definitely doing a lot. It seems like you definitely know what you're doing. All the techie stuff. I'm not very tech savvy myself, so
bro. I'm not even that techie. I'm the
compared to the
non-techie
okay,
of the techies.
okay, I get.
But yeah, then what happened is then it was I finished college. And I think the real time I went to the gym is when I went to work. There's so much stress at work. One of the things that held me grounded is I went to the gym every day because it's like an excuse to get away from work. And then I started lifting deadlifts, benching, and I don't know, I swear the weights are lighter or something because I lifted fairly heavy and I was like, how the hell am I reaching? And then they had food at work. So then I would eat the breakfast,
Okay,
lunch, dinner
nice.
at work. And so I just ate protein, straight protein. And I was like putting on weight and shit. I was like, fuck. I would have literally eggs, this much of eggs, chicken breast, and then
Perfect.
veggies. That was my entire breakfast.
You're finally eating right. Finally.
Yeah. I started putting on a lot of weight too. And I was like, fuck, dude, my looks incredible. What the fuck is going on? And I mean, that was a period of time, right? That was like three, 4 years ago now. But yeah, then after that, I then came back to the States because I kept getting sick. So I'd be hospitalized there because I was getting food poisoning to the point where I would pass out from dehydration. It was fucking weird, but I was at the
Okay.
brink of passing out where I would feel I'm about to lose consciousness. And then it's okay, maybe I should go to the hospital because you throw up so much that your
Yeah.
fluid is all gone because of the
Hey,
food poisoning. Yeah. Then,
that went through.
yeah. So, yeah. Then,
Yeah, I'm saying
huh?
you definitely went through a lot from all these experiences that you share.
I mean, bro,
Yeah.
it's part and parcel, bro. It's part and parcel. I think I went through it. There's no other way than to deal with it, right? I can't ignore food poisoning. Yeah. It's
Yep.
just, yeah, literally. I went through that and then I tried making gains, but I only went consistently, I went about 3 months. And then I made quite a bit of progress, but then I'd go hospitalized, bro. And then obviously your
Yeah.
gains are half gone. And then weirdly, they ended up as bulking and cutting, even though I didn't end up like that. So every time I go to the
Yeah.
hospital, I'm fucking cutting. And I bulked back. The worst way to cut possible, bro. And then it's because like for an entire week, I couldn't eat
Oh
anything. I was on
shit. One
IV.
whole week.
So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
technically cutting.
What a great mindset.
Yeah.
What a great mindset.
Yeah. But that's it. And yeah, but then once I came back to the States, the habit was so hard to maintain because I was hanging out with friends, doing shit or working pretty much. And then Valorant became a thing soon after. So then that became the thing to fill the hole. Because there I
Yeah.
didn't have a PC to play. Oh, that shit. I have my work laptop and they track everything. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that was, oh, I didn't even, now that you mentioned it,
I could
I
go
didn't even
on.
mention this,
Yeah.
but
Were you playing a mouse pad, bro? Do you use a mouse pad
yeah, yeah.
to play
I
Valorant?
brought my own mouse and mouse pad so that I could, it was that
Oh,
bad, okay?
shit. I thought you were using the
I know
trackpad
I
to
used
fucking play Valorant. That's
no, I used
next
to do
level
that
commitment,
like
bro.
for fun. Obviously, it was for fun. It was not actual. It's
Oh,
a kind of fun thing, but yeah, it was not that bad. Okay, it wasn't that bad.
yeah.
But
Jesus, man.
yeah,
Playing
oh, that's
trackpad
different.
Valorant
I
is
can
not,
tell you for a
I don't
fact
know.
that is
It's something
different.
else.
But yeah, I guess back to fitness. I was talking about
Dude,
how if people were
yeah.
experiencing addictions, and for my case, gaming addictions, definitely give fitness a shot. I'm sure a lot of people watching this are probably into fitness really,
Yeah.
but I saw this yesterday about how a lot of people are forgetting an entire half of fitness. They're forgetting about the mental side of things, and they're too focused and too absorbed into trying to get their physique gains, a lot of the hypertrophy training, and they're forgetting that you're not exercising, you're not working out in a vacuum, right? Your mind is actually there with you, and
Yeah.
when you're able to consider in the fact that, okay, whatever is upstairs in your brain, you're able to kind of tap into that when you work out. It's gonna unlock so many different benefits. It's gonna, in a sense, iron out a lot of pathways in your brain to really be able to bring all the benefits out to your rest of your life. Because again, when you, let's say when
Yeah.
you do 3 sets of 8 reps, or somebody was saying, oh, bro, you can't do more than 5 sets for this exercise, man. I would recommend you do 3 sets of 8 or 8 to 10. That's a good start. And they are saying that because they are too absorbed. They have been too absorbed into that. Oh, everybody is in a gym for that physique goal. They want to look the best. They want to do the best hypertrophy style of training. But they are literally forgetting people are sometimes are in the
Yeah.
gym because they want that mental aspect. They just want to be able to push themselves in a to a point where usually people will just stop here, but they want to go even beyond that, man. So when people are trying to be helpful in a sense, I feel like it shows that they have been too absorbed into one side of fitness and they are completely neglecting the other side. So I would assume right now a lot of people are actually that, because I was that recently, not really thinking about the mental aspects as
Yeah.
much as I should. So I would say when you go to
Yeah.
the gym, try different things out. Don't, whatever you do, have this in mind. This has to be the number one driver when it comes to the gym. Whatever you do here, if you're able to improve yourself mentally and you're able to push past a lot of the uncomfortable points, it's actually going to help you out physically also, because you're able to train better. You're going to put in a lot more effort and push yourself beyond what you think was
Yeah.
possible, right? So whenever you think you can't do one more set or one more rep, I want you to do 2 more reps. That's the mentality I always go into, right? I
Yeah.
always, especially for, let's say for shoulders, for example, those hurts a ton. Those are one of the worst burns along with triceps, okay?
I did.
So,
Dude, today was the shoulder day and I could not pull my arms anywhere.
oh
Putting it here
shit,
hurt, putting
yep.
it here hurt. Where the fuck
So
do I
yeah,
put
that's
my
the goal. Like that's
Yeah, dude.
exactly the goal of fitness,
Yeah.
and even the progressive overload part. People, I feel like have put too much emphasis on it, where they're every week I want to improve by 1 rep. I want to improve by
Yeah.
1 rep.
Yep.
But a lot of times when you're more like a seasoned
Yeah.
gym goer, right, it's not that easy to do that 1 more rep, especially at a higher weight. When they put so much emphasis on
Yeah.
that, they get disappointed. They tell themselves, "Oh man, I'm not progressing well. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that." It they treat this, oh, we can't do 1 more rep. I'm not progressing, and that really sets them back. They are forgetting about how, as long as I'm able to push beyond my comfort zone, right, many times in many sets, I am progressing. Naturally,
Yeah.
I would get better at progressive overload. The more you think about progressive overload, the less you're actually gonna progress. That's
Yeah.
how I see it. And I feel like that's a big problem right now in fitness.
Yeah, dude. I think it's the same thing in computer science. Is once a thing becomes a metric, it becomes a bad thing to measure it by. Because you're optimizing,
Yeah.
hyper optimizing for it. I don't know if it really applies one-to-one here, but I definitely see what you mean. I think people get too caught up in that failure and success mode. It's like, today was a good week. I increased my
Yeah.
bench press by a pound. But well, how much did your
Yeah,
technique
exactly.
improve? How much did your intensity improve or XYZ? It's like, is it really a win? Because some days you feel
Yeah.
better than others. Yesterday I hit a PR by 50 pounds. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I had that in me, but I did it. I was like, fuck it. Because if I have that thing, how the hell am I
Right,
gonna
right.
progressively
You're
overload next week?
undershooting.
It's already, I'm already stressing out about it. So you set yourself a lower bar that you can jump over, dude. And I'm, bro, yeah, that thinking fucks you up because it slows down all the progress that you could be making. It's lift as heavy weight as you can comfortably, and then if tomorrow you can't lift as heavy and you want to, your shoulders are hurting, something's hurting, then go lighter and do more
Yeah,
repetitions and focus on
100%.
technique. It's really about, because I think a lot of people think they're
Yeah,
professional
right,
bodybuilders,
right.
but they're not. It gets so ingrained. I'm like, dude, you're working out. It ain't that complicated. It's not that deep. Just go hard. It's because I think once we step out of it, as you're saying, this professional bodybuilder, it becomes so much more applicable to the rest of our lives.
Exactly.
And then how you deal with the conflict, this, that, whatever, it applies to how you deal with conflict at work, conflict with people. It doesn't map one to one, but it certainly gives you a better
Yeah.
mindset to work with around it.
Yeah.
That's how
I
I've
feel
noticed
like
it
that's
as well.
the.
Yeah.
I guess I can expand more on that part. It's more like you're able to
Yeah.
like again delayed. I don't know if it's delayed gratification, but it's something along those lines where you're able to endure pain much longer and much further in a sense. Like when you have big goals, for example, it's not gonna be an easy road. Like we all know that it's gonna be a gruesome road, like of ups and downs. And the most important thing you need is consistency.
Yeah.
So when you're able to in a gym, right, as I said, when you don't think you can do one more rep, you go and do two more reps. It builds that mental fortitude of yourself that okay, I've done this in the gym before. I told myself I can't do it. I thought I couldn't do it. I went and
Yeah.
do even more reps than I thought was possible. That in itself, that mindset, you're able to slowly build that up more and more. And it just irons out who you are as a person, as someone that is able to endure a lot longer and endure more than you expect. This is your expectations of
Yeah.
how much you think you can be consistent with or endure with. But then in actuality, you were able to do this, So that in itself applies to everything else in your life.
Yeah. That mental breakthrough that you're
So
mentioning. Yeah.
I really want,
I agree, dude.
I think as the main takeaway for a lot of people who is somewhat too narrow-minded. I wouldn't say they're lost in fitness, but they're too narrow-minded. You need to open up your mind a little bit more to the mental aspects that it's you think of fitness as a tool, what Romy always said. It's supposed to make the other hard parts of your life easier when you're able to do it in the gym.
Yeah. No, dude, completely agree. I think the mental part has been huge. Even the thing is, you're stressed out at work and then you go to the gym and work out. It just relieves a bunch of, I mean, even in that aspect of
Yeah.
stress relief, of you putting your all into something. And it's kind of your world in that stage.
100.
Before you have all these, you go in, it's your own world, and then you can tap into that kind of energy and you can actually physically move in it. Because a lot of times in our mental head, they're always ephemeral concepts. They're not real. They're not tangible. You can't go and touch them. But here, these goals, these things, they have a literal weight to them. If I fucking want to do a 405 bench, that's my goal. And then I can't even lift 405 off the fucking rack. And I'm shit. So stuff like that. And I agree, dude. I think it's a different kind of experience, the way it helps mentally. I don't know if anything is really quite it. Maybe sports, you achieving other things, but sports has so much components, strategy, this, that, whatever. And here is, I think, a true expression of
Your
raw
mental,
intensity.
how far can you take this? Running, for example, that's another great one, right? It's a lot more like self kind of work, solo work, I would say. So I found out a really interesting thing because the thing is, if you were to do 10 sets of, let's say, squats, someone will be, oh, you shouldn't do 10 sets, that's not good for your overtraining, that's not good for your gains, right? But that's the thing, you're literally pushing yourself so much to the extreme that you're gonna gain, man. You're gonna get a lot more gains as someone who puts a limit to themselves because they think that's the optimal way of lifting.
That's what's held me back most of my life. Remember I told you the times where I'm listening all theory, and at a certain point I go to the gym, I'm like, fuck, 20 is heavy. How the hell am I going to do it? I'd be, well, let me come back. It's always in this mindset of conserving energy, because obviously by the end of the workout, you're tired. But then when you're scared to be that tired or scared to push that one more rep, whatever it may be, it could be, oh, I might have an injury, I might have this, that, whatever. And sometimes you can feel when it's off, but I'm talking about the times where I know I can do another one, but maybe I'll hurt my leg. Maybe something will happen. It's all of those battles, dude.
Great example is when people are trying to warm up, they want to warm up to a weight. Maybe, okay, I give them the first set, they want to just do a light, maybe 50% of 1 rep max. But for some reason, the second and third set, they're still warming up. They tell themselves, I can't do my max now, I want to warm up. I want to get my body feeling more blood flow and whatever. But I feel it's to a point where they know on their maybe third set, they can go 100% already. They can push to the max on this set, but they're purposely delaying it because they want to
Yeah.
feel they are more warmed up. And when you're warming up, that literally makes you more tired.
You're
You're just going to
exhausted.
perform at
Yeah.
lesser than what you could have. When you were second set in, I already did one set warm up. Let's go. People, they have to understand why is it that they limit themselves to not go 100%. What is the reason? And that is what they need to catch on. If the reason is because they feel like, oh, this is on paper, I need to do this step by step in order to go to that 100%. If that is the reason why they choose to give it their all, then that is a bad place. That's not a good reason to do it, right? But if it's obviously if they are scared of injuries
Yeah.
or they're doing to a heavy deadlift, those are proper warm up routines. But when let's say they're doing normal dumbbell press, you don't need 3 sets to warm up. But people actually do that.
Yeah. I go straight
That's
into
great. That's
it. The only things I warm up for is bench,
Yeah.
deadlifts, squats, and maybe RDLs. I do one
Yeah.
set of warm up in case. But those are the only things I warm up in. If I'm doing lateral raises, let me start with
Do
the
that,
2.5s.
and that's the thing, and that's the kind of people that I'm
Jeez, man.
trying to call out. You don't need to warm up as much as you think. Okay, warm up can be a banded before your shoulder day, do banded rotations. That is enough to warm up. Whatever exercises you do, go straight into giving 100%, because that's what we're all in the gym for. Like you want to push past what you think was possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense, dude. Bro, are you working as a trainer right
No,
now?
the thing about
In
right,
the
I have
gym?
I would say like an interesting pathway, because I want to learn and be in the ropes of fitness, online fitness gyms. I want to know whatever how to operate it in the back end, okay? Like ads,
Yeah.
content, the even the sales team, the marketing side. I want to
Yeah.
know that, because right now I am not in a physique where I think people will be, oh, this guy instantly is a fitness trainer. I want to slowly build myself up to that level yet, while I'm actually learning the ropes here. So
Yeah.
when I reach to a point where
Yeah.
I can confidently say I understand enough to be able to teach people, because I need to be at a point where I actually know what I'm talking about, and especially things more on the technical side of things, anatomy and nutrition specifically. I still need to get my knowledge up on that before
Yeah.
I can go into coaching, because I don't
Yeah.
want to be a coach where I'm selling a motivation, I'm selling accountability. I want to actually be able to help them out with their
Yeah.
specific, more technical problems. Yeah, well, it's really mainly focusing on my own fitness, my own training and nutrition. I need to know how to meal prep. So whenever, in case in the future someone says, oh, I want to learn how to meal prep, I know how to do it because I've done it before. So right now I'm getting my own experience while actually learning behind the ropes of a online coaching business.
Yeah. That's a good plan, bro. And I think you can do a lot with Singaporean cuisine. Learning how to meal prep.
Honestly, that's
Dude, I'm not even joking.
Oh, like,
That's a move.
okay, and I
Yeah.
guess I can talk more about.
Don't do the traditional chicken broccoli and rice or some shit.
So,
Chicken broccoli and rice is not a thing anymore, bro. Jesus
okay,
Christ. Yeah.
and that's another thing. The environment here in Singapore, it's rather looked down upon, or people would judge you heavy. Okay, when you are vlogging on the street, for example, nobody does that at all in Singapore. We are very when you're
Wait,
like
when you're what?
vlogging or you're pulling out a camera, you're talking, for example, or even in the gym. Okay,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
really frowned upon in Singapore because we are still very reserved kind of people here, or maybe from where I'm
Yeah.
at. But for the most part, I can tell you for sure that a lot of Singaporeans will just judge you, right? It's not an environment where they encourage
Yeah.
people to be, documenting their improvement journey, whatever it is, right? So I've always it's like a big
Yeah.
jump for me because I am part of that group where I would also judge people when I see them on the streets. Okay, so when it comes to having
Yeah.
to transition into being that person, it's such a big jump, and even now I'm kind of struggling with it. I want to do more just in my room kind of videos. But I understand as a fitness
Yeah.
trainer, you need to go out and maybe film in the gym, right? You need to I don't know, you just need to do a lot of stuff outside of your own home. So that's something that I wrestle with because
Yeah.
of the environment around me. And Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
You can do those. They got this DJI thing. It has this little thing. It's only this big, and you just attach it to something, and no one even realizes that you're doing it.
I okay, see that's the thing. I don't know. I don't buy it.
Legitimately,
How
it's
can you realize? It's
you
literally
can.
so. To me, it's so out there. Maybe because I own one also. I don't know if you're talking about the small camera or is it the action camera, the pocket?
That's the action one. It literally looks. It's
Okay,
this
okay.
big. The
Yeah,
entire
the
camera is
action.
this big. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then you can clip it onto your hat. You can clip it onto your thing or your backpack,
Yeah, to be fair,
and no
yeah,
one can
that's
tell.
true. That's true.
Generally speaking, unless people are looking at you.
Yeah,
Yeah. And even if they look, it's this old man looking at you all weird. I'm like, bro, I'm not filming you. I'm filming myself. It doesn't matter. That kind of a thing, dude. And also, that's a great goal. I'm not gonna lie, because it's gonna empower a lot of people. Because
yeah,
everyone's getting into fitness, dude. Everyone could use a little
hundred
more
percent.
fitness. There's something about fitness, mental health that is gonna be a really important aspect of people's lives because not a lot of people are taking care of their health
Yeah,
as much as they should. In India, when I was there and I was doing him, should you be going to the gym that many times? They thought it was bad for my health,
that's what my parents
legitimately.
said as well.
And then that was the first time. It's bro, what the fuck? They ask me, oh, I'm fat, this, that, whatever, and I go to the gym, I get fit, and they're like, this is
Yeah,
too much.
that's what
No
I'm
one's gonna
saying.
heal this.
It's
No, what the hell?
it's it's
Yeah,
such
it doesn't make any
a
sense.
weird what was the word weird perspective that the people have on fitness. I don't get it at all. But that's literally what my parents
Yeah,
told me. So yeah,
my grandma thought, yeah, my grandma thought if I kept eating protein powder, it was bad for me because she saw on the news that protein powder is bad for her, and it was people are getting heart attacks from eating protein powder. That was a genuine debate. And then she's then explained to me why these people are having heart attacks
yeah,
going to the gym. But it's like coping at a
yeah,
mass scale. It's pretty much these guys would go, they're clearly out of shape, and do something really intense, and it triggers a heart attack because they legitimately can't jump off the ground. I asked some of these guys to jump, they can't jump
yeah.
off the
Okay,
ground.
yeah,
Like think about how
yeah,
bad it would be, bro. And then you tell that guy to run a fucking mile, he's
yeah.
gonna
Fair enough.
die. The amount of so the cases are few and far between, but then India has a billion people. Someone's gonna die in the gym. That's the reality of it. And they're gonna blame it on the gym because the news will be like, this new fad is kind of dangerous. Going to the gym is causing heart attacks. I'm like, how come it's not causing heart attacks
Right,
anywhere
right,
across the world? It's just in India that people are gonna die of heart attacks. Like,
right.
it makes no sense. And the thing is, dude, the steroid market is
Oh,
huge in
in Asia,
Asia.
really?
I didn't realize this, but so many people, yeah,
Oh,
India, dude. I didn't realize this. People that are going to fitness for a while, they've been going to steroids. If they call themselves a fitness guy, they're soon going to be available with
oh,
drugs and stuff.
shit.
And I'm like,
Not good, not
geez,
good.
yeah,
That's quite
I don't know,
interesting.
dude.
Because I always thought
I
it was
don't
like
really
a
get the
US
point,
thing.
to be honest.
Like
Yeah,
obviously mainly US for like steroids, but I didn't know
yeah,
India also. I know they inject oil. I
yeah.
don't know if it's from India, but yes, Sinto,
The
yes.
Synthol, that's a
Those are
Brazilian shit.
weird.
There's
Those
these
people are
Brazilian guys coming
weird,
in.
weird. Like,
It's their own community. They hype
yeah.
them up and they are like, oh, whatever. But man, I feel like we gotta do a part
Yeah,
two
I
to
feel
this,
like
bro.
again,
Jeez.
people don't understand what fitness. They don't understand what fitness is to their own application in their life. Again, I don't know how to phrase it, but
Yeah,
they haven't really asked themselves enough and be more introspective about am I gonna use fitness for what is it gonna do for me? They just think of it as a everybody is doing
yeah,
fitness, it's here, and then they think like the masses compared to actually trying to see, yo, do I
yeah.
actually need to maybe go 5 days a week? Maybe I can do like 2 days a week because I'm busy with this. Like they don't really ask themselves that.
The busyness. It's
Yeah, it
such an
really is an
excuse, but
excuse.
I don't
But
know, dude.
yeah, I want to shift
Yeah.
people's whole perspective on fitness and not shift, but just let them ask themselves, be able to be more introspective about fitness in general. You say you want to go into the gym, but why?
Yeah.
Why do you need to go to the gym? Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
now that you say, that's one of my main goals. That's how I would use to stand out. So obviously, when you're a online fitness coach, everybody is an online fitness coach now. You kind of need to have your own uniqueness. Maybe I'll use that as one of my angles.
Yeah, dude, that's an amazing goal. It's what your
Yeah,
dream is pretty much at this point. To help people with their fitness, integrate it into their daily routine, how they
yeah,
can really embrace it in
100%.
their own way. And
But
dude, run with that.
that's a great conversation. And from this call, I realized fitness is really something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I can talk all day
Yeah.
long, probably.
Yeah. No, same here, dude. That's what I mean is I told you, see, we made
Yeah,
it 2 hours
actually,
easily. You didn't even have to worry
it's,
about it.
it's really eye
Yeah.
opening.
So yeah. And we could talk more about like more stuff next another episode. And then that's just
Yeah,
how we keep it going,
I don't know
bro.
if anybody
It's
is
like,
watching
yeah.
till now, but I would definitely recommend you to hop on a call with your team. If you see me from the start, bro, I'm literally the most introverted. I've never done any call more than an hour, to be honest. And it's just us talking about our lives. That rarely happens to me, okay?
Yeah.
I'm always talking about other people's life, trying to ask about understand about their goals, their struggles. So this is personally very eye-opening for me. I understand a lot more about myself through these 2 hours. And I know it sounds impossible for you to get past the 2 hour mark, but here we are, literally at the 2 hour mark.
And we can go
Exactly.
for another hour too. We
Yeah.
won't run out of topics. That's what I'm trying to say.
So,
Yeah.
like, everybody watching, if you're in Crusader specifically, like, hit Jatin up, trying to set up a call, or I feel like it might be too much for you at a certain point. So
No,
we
it's
definitely
fine.
find other hosts, okay,
Fine.
so you can lessen the workload on your end.
Yeah, but 100%, dude. And I feel like now you can talk about yourself
Yeah,
more
yeah,
authentically, kind of like what you're about, what you've been through, what you've conquered,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess a lot.
It's a really healthy place to
Yeah, I
be.
guess one main bad habit that I have, I would say, okay, it's not a bad habit, but it can definitely be improved. Is I always like to think in my thoughts or write it down on the notes, but I don't
Yeah.
say it out loud. I don't actually talk. In a sense, as weird as it sounds, I should talk
Yeah.
to myself more, right? Like pull up a camera, record down, and talk to myself about a topic, or having more conversations like this with other people.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I have it in my head, I feel like I'm very introspective already because I have so many thoughts here. I'm writing down the notes, but when you write down the notes and you don't go back and review it, then you are literally again you're writing it down for the sake of writing it down. So you put it there so in case you need
Yeah.
it, but you haven't really absorbed that information into your identity. And when you're able to record yourself talking, I think that unlocks that part of your brain. Okay, this me saying this all this out loud, I'm actually encompassing whatever I'm saying right now. Yeah, that's one problem that I
Yeah.
would assume a lot of people have, and I would suggest that they talk to themselves more on camera. You in your room talking to yourself,
Yeah.
find a topic, man, that it's gonna be
Or you could talk to other
yeah,
people, whatever, dude, whatever the
yeah,
case is. You can always hit me up. We can always record an episode or we talk privately. It don't really matter to me. But I think the main thing is if you have ideas, brainstorming, getting them out there, seeing how they sound when you talk about it. Because a lot of times when you write it down or speak in your own head, they
yeah,
sound pretty decent. But when you say them out
yeah,
loud, it's, oh, wait, that doesn't sound that right. But sometimes you think about, ah, that's a crappy idea. But you say it out loud, and I'm, oh, wait,
yeah,
that's a fucking great idea. That's what I'm passionate about. Even you, as you were talking about fitness, you were kind of realizing you had this surge of confidence of, shit, this is what I really am wanting to do.
yeah,
I think, yeah, talking about it more, because I think the voice, something about voicing thoughts, literally speaking them, gives power to them, man. There's some part of you thinking about it is, if you think about what it means to manifest or create something, you're creating something
yeah,
as you're thinking. But another part of the creation, the next level, is speaking about it. And then the next
action,
part after that is doing something about it. That kind of a sequence. And I think that this is another step. And if you miss that step
yeah,
in ideation, because there's this false notion that everything I speak has to be right, true, correct. I can't be wrong. And then there's this another notion of every action I do has to be right,
yeah,
correct. And the thing is, the more you overthink, the more you do this, the less you can even exact something truly right or true. Because you're going to be wrong. You're going to say something wrong.
yeah,
You're going to do something wrong. That's going to be an inevitable thing in your life, anyone's life. And so then we have to know how to deal with that. And if we never make a mistake, how the hell do we know
yeah,
how to deal with it? So we make these little mistakes, or we say something wrong. Okay, I can fix it. Oh, we do something wrong. I can fix it. So then we work at this smaller scale where we have this brainstorming. So then when a truly big thing
Yeah, you're
comes, a
prepared.
really good idea, a really good thing, you know how to say it, you know how to act on it.
Yeah.
All of these things click in. Saying thinking is putting fuel in your gas in your car, but never turning it on.
Yeah. True.
And then if you don't turn it on for a long time, it's overloaded. It's a fire hose that's been clogged. That kink. I don't know who said that example, but now you're gonna be unleashed, bro,
Oh,
upon the world.
pause.
Yeah,
Yo, you gotta put a pause there.
bro. He's gonna fucking be shooting all over them.
Yo, this is too much. But I think that's
Nah,
a
but
great
yeah.
segue to how. Let's talk a little bit more about Crusader itself and how we want to help people inside.
Oh yeah.
I think this deserves a segment for that.
Yeah.
Because right now, I would say the main problem from the fact that the mission of the week thing, that wasn't really a success, to be honest. It's worse that it's straight out a failure.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 days in, 4 days in, and we barely got born in. We only had 7 people that participated in it. So, no, and there's nothing
Sure.
wrong.
I
It's like I don't blame anyone else. It's really the fact that we haven't done a good enough job. And I remember you saying this really vividly, is that the onboarding process has to be dialed in. It has to set the tone and the expectations of what they are expected to contribute, or what they're expected to pour into Crusader. And I feel like we haven't done a good job on that, because right now the
Yeah.
onboarding is super, it's stagnant. It's really stagnant. Like, we're throwing them into a community, and then they are expected to kind of navigate around whatever new channels there are. So yeah, I feel like that's
Yeah.
the main problem that we have, and it's gonna be fixed with the app, right? We have some good news already. I'm sure you
Yeah.
saw on the Heartbeat chat also, but we have some good news on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they're gonna be
Yeah.
like a meeting or something.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
So I want to get the onboarding process more dialed in, and I want to use the point now where you said there's 3 levels for. I don't know what was it, like, it was thinking, and then it was
Thoughts,
speaking. Yes,
speaking, action.
action. I think speaking is one of the, it's like a part that we are all missing in Crusader. And I know the 90 seconds challenge that kind of facilitates that, but even that isn't, I don't know, it's not enough pull for people to want to do it. So maybe you can think of other ways to facilitate more on the second stage, where we want them to speak
Yeah.
their truth or speak what they're about to people of Crusader. Right.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think one of the thing is speaking authentically. Because you can say shit, but if you don't mean it, that's like that makes all
Yeah.
the difference. So it's like when you go to a community, so you go to a classroom and you get the
Yeah.
vibe, right? Let's just say this is the first day of school. Pretend joining Crusade is the first day of school. And you go and you get a vibe and
Yeah.
you behave a certain way. And that for that entire year, you're that person. Every time you go to school, you behave like that. Even if you're not that, even if your outside life changes, you're going to go into school and you're going to behave like that. 90% of people do that. They get stuck in that persona, that friend group. I went into my high school and I made a few friends
Mhm.
near my desk. And those are my friends for the
Fair
entire
enough.
year
Yeah.
in that class.
Yeah.
We don't ever get
Yeah.
to know the whole class. That usually never happens. I think after a certain point, it's okay, that's it. This is
Yeah.
and this is what I'm gonna do. And that's what I meant earlier on the first few weeks. I was not arguing in the fireside. I was, man, this is, you're setting the tone. This is because once you set the tone of how this will be, that's what people are
Yeah.
gonna be used to. You can say we're gonna expand, we're gonna do this, that, but
Yeah.
no one's gonna care about that because you're putting in the effort. They don't see anything. On the thing, it looks the same as it did a week before. So eventually people start tuning that out. Bro, this guy's always gonna say he's doing shit. There's
Yeah.
always gonna be like
Yeah.
random shit popping up. Some of it's not relevant, some of it is. It's
Yeah.
just setting the tone, man. And then I think the thing is there's an ownership aspect. If you're a citizen of a country, you should feel you're part of that country. Right now, there's nothing making it feel you're part of a
Yeah.
country or a thing. You could go and say, this is my community. No one really says that. Everyone's, this is Rami's community. Even in the fireside, everyone says, this is Rami's community. This ain't mine. You don't go, this is Abraham Lincoln's country. You don't go and say, this is Kuan Yu's Singapore. You
Yeah.
would say, this is
Exactly.
my country. That's what I mean, is if people don't help, it's not that if they want to step up. No, dude, they have to help. Being part of a country, being part of a community is you have a role. And the role can't be to exist and sit there and do nothing. When you're that, you're disengaged, you're passive. And that's the reason I think 80% of the people here are passive is there is no
Yeah,
role
I
for them
understand.
to step into. They come in and they do a fitness, but that's an assumption, dude. What I think there's a missing part is you're saying we're creating country, we're doing this. The videos are great.
Yeah.
And they come in, they're hyped up. You see the messages that they when they pop in, they'll now create your own voice room. Enter the border. It's I'm from the United States. I want to do the mission. I no longer want to walk alone. I want
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to be there when others win. I want to give my time,
Yeah.
energy to truth to protect it. They have all this shit. They come in and they're doing a
Yeah.
workout.
To be fair, yeah.
That's the entire thing. It feels a letdown, bro. Think about it. You go to school, you're hyped up, and then it's
The
you know what I
people around
mean?
you they don't fuck with you that or they don't actively try to welcome you. I get that a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, how can they even
Mhm.
contribute? No one is going to come in with the mindset, yeah, I'm going to message Rami and be like, I'm really passionate about this. And I'll try to grab him in the fireside. I'll talk to him for 30 seconds. Dude, this guy gets swarmed immediately. He's, yo, boys, hop in the
Yeah.
fireside. Everyone rushes in. A minute you get with him, right? And then okay, so then who else do you talk to? Let's say I want to start something. Who do I
Yeah.
talk to? Rami at this point got to realize, man, this guy's overloaded. There needs to be other channels of wanting to start shit. And I think that fire
Yeah.
pit thing is a good idea where you're starting the fire pit. But I can't see someone being like, I'm going to go and help and altruistically donate my
Yeah.
time to this
Fair enough.
community. And then if you want something to
Mhm.
be their community, they have to build it with
Yeah.
their hands as well. It's like you're trying to build a house. You're going to feel differently about the house if you help build it versus someone bought it for you and gave it to you and it's fully built and it's already done.
Right.
That's not the point. The point is you building it together. That's what creates the community feeling. And that's the missing part. And I think no one's going to see this. That's why I'm saying all this shit, by the way. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone's going to
Fair,
make it
yeah.
to this point. to see.
No, and that's
And
the thing.
so, but I'm
I
like,
would let Romy or like tell
yeah,
him to watch this timestamp.
yeah.
I want him to, in a sense, like listen to this a bit more. Do you want? No, I can
Oh,
don't do that.
shit.
But
Yeah,
no, but what you're saying, trust me, is valid, and
yeah.
I can say that because I'm, in a sense, I'm the other side of the fence where I basically this whole heartbeat thing. It was my job to do for Romy. So a lot of the things here, even the color scheme, I was the one doing it. A lot of pictures here, I was the one doing it. So I've
Yeah.
contributed enough to say that this is my community. I can say, I can tell other people, this is my community.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand when they haven't put in much and never committed much to this, they wouldn't put in more effort into it. The foundations isn't right. And that's the thing that I understand now that we have to fix. And I'm planning when the app is more or less done. I want to do a whole revamp telling people we have moved, we have I don't know how about the messaging has to be quite funny, quite fun, but they have to
Yeah.
do an actual proper onboarding process on the new app and I want them to have their skin in the game. Something that they need to do before they can join the community. Or even the 90 seconds
Yeah.
challenge. We can make that a compulsory thing before they can join. And in terms of the
Yeah.
features itself, that's another big thing that we have to think about how to facilitate. But I love that there was two guys that met up for a run. They went for a run. Two of the Crusaders met up in real life.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It was Sam and
Peru,
Parnil.
yes. I think it was
Yeah.
Peru.
So
Yep.
it's a
So
P. Peril,
so
and
that's
Sam.
where
Yeah.
like that is something that they can definitely cherish. I know these two are great friends now. 100%. They are gonna be friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And the fact that throughout this 1 month plus, we've only had this one connection here out of 45 days, for example, it really shows that we are not facilitating that well. We are not doing our job as people trying to connect everybody. Right? We're not doing our job to link them together and give them more opportunities to meet up together in real life. And I know there's a channel for that, but
Yeah.
again, a channel feels too stagnant.
Bro, that channel is so dead. That meetup in our IRL, bro. I replied twice.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's
Again,
happening.
I feel like all the channels now are too stagnant. There is no push. There is not enough push
Yeah.
at all, or no push at all to get them to take action in each of the channels. Honestly, each of the bloody channels. Except for
Yeah.
the
Even the website
yeah.
thing I did, it like 8 people came, half of them left, and half of them weren't ready
Oh
to
shit.
do the website. And I don't even know if a single one even did the website. It's there, but I think people are too in the observer mode. The only people that are doing it is Marino, me,
Scribble.
Scribbles. I don't know where Greg is. And then, fuck, what's his name?
Yeah.
Barbod. I think those are the only guys creating stuff, planning stuff. The other guys are popping in questions. But the thing is, I guess that's where the idea of projects are going to be
Yeah.
coming in,
Yeah.
dude. Here's, I think, a revolutionary
Okay.
idea.
Okay. Okay.
All right. You got to break down what it means to build Crusadia. And then we form projects. And then we assign people, hey, you're part of this country. You have this project to do. And this project will go to building Crusadia to be bigger.
Yeah.
You got what I'm
Like
trying
give
to say?
them a 100%. Like I definitely understand what you mean.
Dude.
Okay.
Yeah. So then they will learn and they will feel this is they're helping
Yeah.
build Crusadia. And then then they have the opportunity, the ground to say, hey, Rami, or hey, Isaac, hey, whoever the hell is in charge there, or whatever is overseeing, I want to do more. I want to help more, contribute more, because I see myself very passionate with a group of people. I want to contribute more. Then you can do that. Because right now there is no incentive
Yeah.
to
There's nothing.
do anything because it's so challenging, bro. Coming from my end, Marino is stressed out. I already know where he's at. Because when I did the AI Renaissance, because the book club, I get you have a book, you read it, and then you talk
Yeah.
about
That's
it.
easy.
That's easy to do. But then when you're trying to do AI, it's how do you apply AI, right? And I know I took that as my challenge, but I'm saying if more people want to step up, it's extremely challenging. And luckily, I have the flexibility and time to figure that out.
I see what you mean.
But someone stepping up into that big role,
Yeah.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden, right? Having themselves to prove the community, all that. But if we can have these projects that everyone that's coming in has to do, because everyone is fired up, dude. Read the things again, the intro chats. Everyone's fired up. Everyone wants to contribute something. It's I'm ready to protect my brotherhood, XYZ. And then kind of
Yeah.
test those words, test what they're doing, right? And then put them into products to tell the truth, this, that, whatever. And then you're going to go in a group of 3, form a triad, form a group of 3 people. So every time you have someone coming in, you have a batch, right? He's doing the funneling system, so he's going to have batches from now on, right? So people aren't going to be trickling every now and then. So once you do the batches, you're going to have, okay, the first batch, they're all going to be paired up in a group of 3 or 4. These are your people, all right? And then you guys are assigned to do this task. On top of working out, you have to learn how YouTube videos work. You have to post this, you have to do that, you have to do this.
Okay.
And then the project has to lead to their personal growth, and it also has to help build Crusadia. It has to achieve both. Not one can be compromised for the other. So then they are having literal ownership because they're helping build Crusadia. This kind of feels like a pyramid scheme now that I'm explaining it out loud, but I don't know if it is. But the thing is, the guys at the top have to be extremely reliable, bro. That's the thing, is if the guys up the top aren't reliable, they become corrupt or whatever the fuck, this whole thing it's going to be blown by the time we even get up there. That kind of thing. We got it.
To let you know first, we have automations going on. So everybody who joins and 3 days afterwards and 14 days afterwards, Robbie will send a DM from
Yeah.
his automated DM. Okay, so people actually think it's him sending.
Oh
So
my.
imagine there's 300 people, 350 people.
Oh,
That's what I have to deal with also because I also send that.
yeah.
So just to let you know, it's not like his inbox is not a lot of people.
Look, this is what I
Anyway,
said.
okay.
Yeah. Look at this. This is the thing I said. People need to know why they're here. The reason I'm passionate about this is I'm building my own community here. That's a part of my thing. Part of my thing is peer-to-peer, and part of this, the other part is self-development. And the whole thing is how these guys can play off of each other. And randomly stumbled, bro, this is a great place to explore how community would work. So then I joined, but then after phase 1, 2, and 3, things kind of fell off. The third phase was this eternal 100-day thing. The first step, you got to do 100 push-ups. All right, that's cool. Let's do that. And I'll be honest, I didn't do 100 push-ups. That day, I had such an intense chest day. I
Yo,
could not even squeeze
the
my.
chest.
If you
Yeah,
go like
yeah.
this, you know how
You
you can
step
squeeze your
in.
elbows together? I could only go here. That's it. And fuck. The day I joined, it's a workout.
What a
I'm fucked.
coincidence, yeah.
Okay, this already counts as a chest workout. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I think there has to be something around building community.
I guess they have. Okay, I think one big shift that maybe I have to let Romy know is that we let's not make let's not treat them like people that we need to appease to, in a sense. We want to treat them as people that like want to show up for something bigger. They want to put in the work, right? And in a sense, like not make things easier
Yeah.
for them. When I say make things easier, I mean don't need to.
But you have to. In certain regards, things are too hard for them. For someone who wants to put themselves
Yeah.
out there, learn, grow, connect, things are really hard right now. But in terms of fitting in, okay, send a message a day, send this a day. Dude, tell me if my vibe is wrong. But if you go look at, I keep harping on this, but if you go look in the
Right.
enter the border thing, would you, because when it does it, you don't know you think you're sending a thing to Rami or someone in the community. You don't think you're making a public post when you're doing the sign up
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So when someone writes this and they're thinking they're writing to a person, they're not thinking of
Yeah.
that it's going to be a post, and they write all this to you. Someone wants mentorship. I want to master the foundation of business, build networks and relationships for the rest of my life. Now, how do we put them in a fucking group? Or how do we get them started on that? I feel like we don't have a platform that actually takes these passions and integrates them in a way where they
Mm.
can get value. That's the thing that's
Okay.
not being supported. It's not the fact that you can't reach out to people. If someone is coming in with this much fire, getting them setting the tone of, okay, we're going to do this 100-day crusade, then it's going to begin. Let's say, bro, after 100 days, I don't
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
this
Agree,
I don't
agree.
have that same energy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? That's what I'm trying to say. It has to be all
Wait,
concurrent.
I have
And if they can't do
no,
it,
no, carry
dude,
on, carry on.
yeah. Yeah, I think if such a fear is, oh my God, what if they can't do it? What if they can't do both? Then there could be an opt-out option, or they could be, all right, I just want to do
Yeah.
the fitness. But there has to be a place where they can be authentic in what they want and what they don't want. Now, part of it is forced, being where but they have to connect with the people in the community, man.
Mhm.
That's the thing. This personal calls are really important. Yeah.
Uh,
In the thing, dude, you have to say you have to go to a fireplace chat. Nowhere in the initiation does it say you have to go on a
yeah.
fireplace chat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah, it
And
really
that's a
points
no-brainer.
down. What I can see is it
Yeah.
really points down to the onboarding process. It's so unclear, and people are basically just dropped into a community. And the
Yeah.
thing to facilitate that is we need more automations in the backend that actually pushes them to do stuff. In a sense, the Crusade step one, step two, step three. Again, that is stagnant. It's not an automation that push
Yeah.
them. Pop up. You need to do this as your first step. It's a channel, and it's still very
Yeah.
stagnant. Step one to three, yes, it's there, but some people are not pushed enough to go through it. From what I know now, I feel
I
like app
think
itself, even if we can get it up, and I'll have to let Romy know, even if we can get it up, we have to dial in on the actual client journey, like the actual journey
the things that are important,
of our people here. Yeah. Sorry, what do you say?
reinforcing what you're saying, things that are
Yeah.
actually important. That would the thing is, how do I say this? People aren't gonna rise, is my opinion. Because when I first, as a person that doesn't know this guy at all,
Mhm.
I took a gamble, and then I'm like, this guy seems really authentic. I really like his vibe, and if he's creating something, that's the first time I ever paid for a community online
Okay.
service ever.
Super cool. Yeah.
So I fucking went with the flow. I'm like, this is fucking meant to be, bro. And then I joined, and I think the first impression is, oh, cool, this guy's very down to earth. Because I never messaged him or anything like that. So I didn't know he's that down to earth. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool guy. But then slowly it started becoming more about him
Yeah.
than the community.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I didn't know, okay, even in the locker room, I do my daily log, diet completed, arms
That's
done,
it.
burnt. But where do I actually
Yeah.
connect with people? I hop at the fireside, no
Mhm.
one comes. He literally on my third day, I was like chilling there alone for like 10, 20 minutes. No one would come. And I was like, damn, bro,
Yeah,
where, where's the
I
community?
understand. Understand.
That's why I'm like, then it becomes more about him because everywhere he moves,
Correct.
people move,
Correct.
which makes sense because
Yeah.
he started this whole thing
Yeah,
out of
but
his influence. It makes sense. But then you can't go and advertise it as if, oh, this is everyone's thing, even if I'm not,
yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
vision.
vision.
But right now, people aren't there yet. And so when people come in with this much fire, literally, people come in with fire, bro. I haven't seen, I don't know if you've seen meshes like that. People are super excited. They have their own spin. What does Crusadia mean?
Yeah.
What does this mean? What does that mean? They're pumped when they come in. They're hot and ready to go. And it feels then you can wait for another day to do this. I get it. And then I wake up tomorrow and I expect some shit going on. And I don't know. It's almost like they need to be paired up with someone like a veteran versus a new
Yeah.
Crusader. Every time, like one of the mission statements is like, you have to talk to a veteran Crusader, a person who's been here more than 2-3 weeks and that is like active or something. And so that way, then the veterans have a task of building and getting new guys in here and like hyping them, like not hyping them up, but getting them used to what's going on. And then the new guys are like, oh, I have someone I can message in case I don't know what's going on. Because who's going to come and drop it? All these things take
Yeah.
comfort within yourself. And when someone's coming here, they're wanting to be doing, developing, all that. And they may not have that comfort with themselves. Because the person who would have that comfort is like people that already don't
Correct.
need it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
already know
Exactly.
how to
Exactly.
do the, you know what I mean? I could go
Yeah.
on for a very long time,
Okay. No,
Isaac.
but
I just want to
trust
let you
me.
know around this.
Yeah.
I have so
I
many
love all
ideas
these
around
ideas.
this.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And I understand now. Like, I feel like Robbie right now is too distracted with the marketing side because he has been very busy with trying to market Crusadia out to get more people in. But I need
Yeah.
to stay more grounded and be upfront with him, like, our processes and our, in a sense, like client fulfillment itself is still very bad. Like there's so many people that
Yeah.
are literally so valuable to the community. Like they have their own because they are so ready to do stuff, and the fact that we are not able to give them that channel to do that is really bad on our end. It's like we might be missing the next prime minister of USA because we are not trying to like giving them a,
Yeah.
a channel for that.
I mean, even the other two guys, Rock and Felipe, dude, I managed to catch them, but they're not super
Yeah,
duper
yeah,
active.
yeah,
They're kind of more they pop in whenever it's gonna be pop out, but there's no reason for them to be in the Felipe and Rock. They're both super fit. They have a super athletic background. So the thing that's being provided to them isn't really the thing. They came because of Rami's authenticity and kind of the promise of there's going to be a fitness of a bunch of guys you can reach out. But then there isn't really a facilitation here where you can go
yeah,
freely reach out. Sure, you can say, oh yeah, why don't you ping someone at random? They don't have time to go to the firesides, which is usually happening during the daytime
yeah.
when people are at work. I do remote work, so
See,
I can hop
yeah,
on whenever and work while doing it. But a lot
yeah,
of people don't have that thing. So how the hell is someone supposed to do that, dude?
yeah.
Like, tell me that.
See,
You got what I mean? If someone's working, how? How?
okay,
How?
there's so many things that it's ideas, but it's so hard to get it right now in Cruise with Heartbeat, the app itself. It's hard to
Yeah.
put it into existence, but I would say again, how about this? I'll give you a suggestion.
I'll be honest.
Let's say,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
when they join, right, and when let's say Owen, like I think Owen's a great example, but let's say this 16, 17-year-old guy joins,
Oh yeah.
and
Owen.
he
Yeah.
automatically gets pushed, really insanely pushed to connect with two other people of similar age. Okay, and their project is, let's say, to start a
Yeah.
team page, right? And the reason why I'm using Owen because he's in
Yeah.
school, and his whole goal is studying right now, so he has quite a lot of free time in a sense. So for people, starting a team page
Yeah.
with three of them, you guys, your goal is to hit 2K a month with team pages, right? And they have to do whatever it takes to hit that goal. Okay, I think it's a good.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea specifically for students?
Yeah. Students, I think, yeah, we can give them their own project, but I think it's something to fuel their passion. Because a bunch of these students, they're
Yeah,
doing side
exactly.
hustles, bro. That's, as you're saying, they're doing something inside. I think that's something that would be a good project where they can, if
Yeah.
that's what they want to do, and that's what their interests and their growth, their value that they're getting, or should be
Yeah,
in line
exactly.
with how it's building Crusadia
Yeah.
up. Do you get what I mean? That's kind of the thing. And if it's a newer audience, we don't know them yet, so
Yeah.
they have to test
Yeah.
what
So
they can do. And so
to
there
combat
has to be
that,
a funnel
the
around
part
that.
where you
Yeah.
don't know what they want to do, I think again that boils down to the onboarding process. And someone mentioned this to me, Hussein mentioned this to
Yep.
me about how when they get onboarded, they get to pick a pathway. Do they want to go in business? Do they want to go into fitness? And fitness can like mean fitness coaching also. But
Yeah.
in general, what is their passion? Okay. So there's these different pathways that they can choose when they get onboarded, and that is how we are able to pair them up for project work. Because when it comes to project work, it has to be a passion thing in a sense. Like it's great to use your passion and turn that into a project that makes you money, right? And
Yeah.
I think that kind of combats the problem we have right now. Another problem that I wanted to bring up, and the reason why I say Owen, those students specifically, is a lot of guys right now, they have their own jobs slash business that they are working on. And we cannot agree that is going to be 80% of their life, their time and effort. They are going to pour into that. And it's Crusader is going to be in a sense, a side hustle, or not hustle, but a side project, or like a spare time thing for them. And we have to understand that we cannot
Yeah.
just expect them to, when they have their own business that they want to run. Like, yo, I have a project here in Crusader for you. You have
Yeah.
to do this. So we have to also filter those people out. And okay,
I have a suggestion or something. So usually when you're doing the business side, I think you're
okay,
learning something. You're learning something new. You're trying to get your thing. You're trying to lock into products. Unless they're talking clients after clients after clients, and that's their entire job is to talk to clients. I feel like a lot of people can do a project here that will help them at work. And the thing is, they get connected with people that they
yeah,
can actually work with, even off the project. So that's the thing, is if that implementation is done correctly, even the people that are doing businesses, even Zach, let's say Zach is doing this business around all this shit. And then let's say there's a guy like Shaq somewhere in here, and then Zach and Shaq
yeah,
already work together, right? So you make them do a project that will mutually benefit both of them.
yeah,
Do you get what I mean? It's not even a side hustle thing. It's in Owen's regard, it could be something that is directly helping Crusadia, but from their part, it could be something that's a little bit off, where it's kind of helping them and their business will be part
yeah,
of
exactly.
Crusadia,
Yeah,
considered
yeah,
under part of Crusadia. So
yeah,
so where everyone whoever it is, if the only thing they can do is lay one brick, they still feel like they're building something. And at the end of the day, that brick should still be there
yeah.
in that
It's a part
final
of Crusader.
thing that built Crusadia.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that, and yeah, dude, trust me, these big things are super hard to break down and bring to life, because it's easy to talk
Yeah,
about in abstract terms, but actually making it work is going to be
okay.
something
Yeah, I
else.
think the first step we can do is have a list, a whole bunch of projects that we can do. And let's throw in some examples right now. Let's say like team pages, um, start a fitness coaching business.
What's Team
Team pages
Pages?
are
Sorry.
affiliate marketing. It teaches you how to do IG content in a sense.
Oh,
So I give an example because Romy recently um paired up with this guy and he helps him with affiliate marketing. So this guy, his channel name is History of Bodybuilding,
yeah.
and he does content around.
Dude, I just came up with something. Yeah, sorry, continue.
Okay, but just real quick, yeah, issue of bodybuilding. So
Yeah, yeah.
you talk about how maybe how sumo wrestlers, how they did it in Japan back in 1961, or give more facts about that, or how old bodybuilders,
Yeah.
and then they'll talk a bit of like mindset stuff, and then they CTA into a digital product, which is Romy's
Yeah.
initiation program, I think. That's kind of how it works, and it teaches people first of all more on the Instagram, maybe about scheduled content. Maybe you want to post at these different timings. You know about how to make a good story CTA. There's a lot you can actually learn that is applicable down the line. That's one idea. Throw it out
Yeah.
there. What were you gonna say?
Dude, I think is a great. You remember you talked about these guys 90% of the
Yeah.
time they're doing businesses, right? Whatever the hell they're trying to do. we say, all right, you're doing the business, but how about you have a Crusadia member help you out with the business?
Oh, okay.
Hear me out. Then they learn, get value, and then this person is, oh shit, that's Crusadia is actually helping. Then they want to invest
Okay,
more
okay.
time with the Crusadia. You got what I'm trying to say? A lot of these guys, they want to learn. And pairing up people together is such a, this is what it's about, man. This is where the juice is at. They got to be able to build it. And yeah, I'll tell you my version of the community that I'm trying to build. It's more around peer-to-peer connections and having deep
Yeah.
connected relationships. And this is a little bit different. The goal here is to not build deep relationships, which may or may not happen. That's not the goal. The goal is everyone knows this is a safe environment for them and they can speak up and they have that confidence. The only way you're going to have that confidence is if you have someone who you think is really high up in the community, talk to you, interact with you freely, and you
Yeah,
can reach
yeah,
out to them
true,
freely.
true.
Right? That's one way of having that thing. And dude, Rami's doing it quite a bit. I don't think he can do any more.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how much he could do, bro. The thing is, I feel like some of these guys need to see that this is a real value.
It
And
has to.
one way you can do that is this
No, no,
business.
sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. Some things would be, well, this thing is making this much value. And I guess that could be Crusadia coins, but if people come in, the amount they're going to buy, oh, wow, this is Crusadia coin. I don't know how much it's worth. But I think they have to know the value of
Contribution.
their
Yeah,
return thing.
I
Yeah, contribution,
agree. I agree.
stuff like that. We
Yeah,
can't
I
tackle
agree.
this in one night, but
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about? But I think
Yeah,
implementing
project.
projects, they have to build it. That's secure. But the projects is to, remember, the intention of the projects is to build Crusadia with everyone. They're building this country. They're part of it. It's not about showing up with $50.
Yeah.
That's the
What
thing.
do you think about, okay, when you see build with Crusadia, does that mean, okay, what if, for my example, is the project that I give them, it has to benefit them, like they're already on this path, that project just adds to this path. But when you say build with Crusadia, does that specifically mean like it has something to do with um contributing back to Crusadia or doing more for Crusadia, or can it just be think of it as a standalone project? They join Crusadia, I give them a project, I give them 2 people to do the project with, and they don't interact with Crusadia anymore. Does that work?
Yeah. Ideally shouldn't be the case because the whole point is they should be able to call this
Okay.
their country. That's the mindset. So if we just give them a random ass project and we're like, okay, you could just do this project with these people, then after the project, I get it, but I could have, in a way, it's like I could have done this myself. You know, what's the point of me doing it with Crusadia? And the whole point of that is the
Okay.
community. You get closer to the community, you meet with the community. That's why, dude, with the AI thing, the thing I'm doing is everyone's gonna have their own project, but I realize I need to do these videos about how do you prompt ChatGPT? How do you get closer to it? How do you build these tools? And then I'm now asking these guys that are AI experts. Even I think Zach is pretty good with AI. So I'm gonna ask him, hey, how do you do your thing? And then can you present a thing on it? And sharing skills openly. That way where these guys can come and they can help you out
Right,
down the
right.
line. If you're trying to do a big business, they can help you out. They can take part in it. And then you can ignite their passion where they can go
Yeah.
and start their thing. It's this whole thing about mentorship. That's the really beautiful path. And what it means is their project is actually moving Crusadia forward.
Right.
And for that, the visionaries, the leaders,
Yeah,
they need to be
yeah.
really strong in that. And we got to have team meetings discussing this, bro.
Mhm.
It can't be you and I discussing it because then it's going to be difficult to
Yeah.
move things forward. It has to be a group effort because if you say one thing, they say another person says another thing, then we're not all in sync.
Yeah.
And then once the leadership is in sync, automatically the cohort, the people will be in sync. That's part of it. Imagine you contribute and do a project in the group and you see that actually help the country, the quote unquote country, then you automatically feel a sense of belongingness to it because it's not just money, it's time, effort, and also the value gained, the relationships made. It has to be that kind of an adventure.
I see. Okay.
And then, yeah, you're going to also distill the people that don't really want to be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. 100%.
It's because some people just don't want to be here. Then you just distill them. You're just like, okay, we don't want, you guys don't want. And later on, if they want to join, they're always welcome to come back, but they know what to
Yeah.
expect.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely need a meeting on this also. I made a chat. I doubt people honestly heartbeat chat is so what's the word I'm looking for? You can't rely on it, unreliable, yes. People just won't go into
Oh,
heartbeat chat,
really?
man. So I'll send this to Romy, let him know, just go through the whole video at 3 times speed. But yeah, I agree. It's like
shit.
a mentorship kind of structure, but in a community based setting. Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I like that a lot. Honestly, yeah. Like mentorship is always gonna be the bread and butter of a lot of connections, and especially when it comes to building businesses, you need a mentorship, right? That's a given. So we want to
Yeah.
facilitate that. But mentorship projects
Dude. Yeah.
projects has to be connected with like a human connection with the mentorship. Okay.
Yeah. But the implementation is really important
Yeah, that's
when
the
you do this.
most difficult part.
It's less about the idea,
Yeah,
more
that's
about
the
the
most
implementation, bro.
difficult.
Literally, the implementation is more
Yeah,
important than
I
this
agree.
idea. Yeah.
It's always about the implementation. Okay. But for projects, we can definitely have a list of projects. I think that covers for the most part whatever people is interested in.
Yeah.
You can literally do whatever. You can if they want to, they can even start their own was it the window cleaning or the I don't know what is the popular thing now. Where they paint the pathway or they clean the pathway. The things like that
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying
Yeah.
like if you
Yeah.
want to do
Yeah.
physical business, there is a outlet there for people that wants to do it. So for project
Yeah.
wise, I think it's quite straightforward. Just give them a goal that they are achieving, and that goal itself helps them with either starting a business or helps them with the business that they are already doing. Okay, so that's projects for
Yeah.
mentorship. So we mentorships has to be based on projects, and then we can assign mentors to certain projects. Maybe some of them overlap. The guy can
You're
yeah.
overlooking it in some
Oh yeah,
way.
yeah. They
Yeah.
can overlook it, so they can be. And I want to do it where it's a
Yeah.
it's a
They're
weekly
involved.
call, and I don't want it on fire players. Like, fuck the heartbeat calls. I want to do it on Google Meet or Zoom, where they can
Okay.
see their faces. They can share their screen, talk
Yeah.
about how their
Yeah.
business is going. So I just use Team Page. I think that's
Yeah.
one of the easiest ones to start. So they can say, oh, this is the metrics that we have tracked. This is not doing well. Then the mentor can be, oh, maybe you can do this instead. You can try this instead. So people will also
Yeah.
be the three of them working on a project. For example, they are looking forward to join the call with the mentor because they are expecting a value in return. But for the mentor
Exactly.
wise, we have to give them something then obviously as Romy has to maybe pay them or take a cut.
Maybe some of the thing with money is certain skill sets are going to be more expensive than others. And if you're going to use money, you can't give them
Fair,
enough
fair.
money.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
So
I don't know. Money, it's
yeah,
easy to
it's
get
hard to
lost
navigate around.
in how much of the market value
Yeah.
is worth. Because fucking Shaq is, gotta give me $10,000 per hour.
Yeah, he's
So,
doing like sales.
I actually
So
don't know his rate, but yeah. But some people, for example, some people get $300 an hour for doing that kind of thing if they
yeah,
advertise it on LinkedIn or something, right? So stuff like that. So if you put a monetary price, then all of a sudden people being like, hey, why is this guy getting paid the same amount as me? I'm giving more value. Or, hey, there's going to be something like that where my skill is more valuable and there's going to be these differences and it's going to be less one community than there's going to be these separate things. The project should be more about the mentorship is they're going to help out with your
yeah.
page. Let's say Rami is the guy since we
Mhm.
both know him. And he's like, hey, I'm having trouble with my page. Can you help me out? And then the thing is they'll learn and they feel like they're contributing to the part of the page, but the page can't be a random side project. It has to be something that is moving
Okay.
Crusadia forward.
Okay.
That means there needs to be a real vision on what Crusadia is. The thing is, you can't do this project stuff without understanding the full vision of what Crusadia is. So if you decide on a certain number of people, get those people together, sit them down and be like, we're going to
Yeah.
build the future of this thing. That's it, period. And then what is the future going to be? Let's envision it. Let's create projects. Okay, I envision philosophy being a thing. Let's start writing blogs. Let's start putting shit out there. Let's start businesses. It has to be in that mindset. I'll take this thing if I need to, bro. Because at this point, there's so much potential here. Trust me. Actually, don't trust me. But if you leave these guys with this much thing, it'll fizzle out.
agreed.
The amount of energy is fizzling out. And what's going to happen if the new guys come in is they're going to see 80% are
it's
not
bad.
interacting, and
It's bad.
their energy will fizzle out quicker. So even if you focus on this funneling thing and they come in, what are the go to the gym every day? That's pretty much the
Right,
main
I feel
value
like-
of it. I don't want to undermine that by any means, but there's way more if you want to build it. I'll be honest, you guys are fucking beating up on Heartbeat too much, bro. Heartbeat isn't even the main problem. Because even if I don't have a direct reply feature, I can still talk to people. But the problem is I don't know who to talk to.
It's more
I can DM
I
people,
understand,
I can
it's
go to the
really
fireside.
onboarding. I from what
Yeah.
I can hear all your feedback, it's the onboarding process and it's about setting the tone. That has to be good.
It's about what's available to do. It's about what's available to do as well. It's not onboarding. It's when you come in, I do my logs. I'm accountable every day. That's the accountability practice that's